paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Doug Brown. Game 3 of the NLCS tonight in Philadelphia. The Phillies and the Padres tied 1 game each. Our coverage starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. It's an off day for the ALCS. The Astros lead the Yankees 2-0. Game 3 tomorrow in New York. Bruce Bochy is the new manager of the Texas Rangers. He gets a 3-year deal. Bochy won 3 World Series titles managing the Giants. The Cardinals got a win last night against the Saints. Arizona coach Cliff Kingsbury had a heated exchange on the sideline with quarterback Kyler Murray.
He's real animated over there on the sideline sometimes, so it's always, it's never, calm down, we're good, we're going to make it right. We ended up scoring, so that was good, but yeah, that's all I was saying. Just chill out.
Kyler Murray. Jets wideout Elijah Moore will be inactive for Sunday's game against the Broncos. Moore has asked to be traded. Head coach Robert Saleh says that won't happen. Another Jets wideout, Denzel Mims, asked to be traded at the end of the preseason. The trade deadline is November 1st.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel once you get there. If you don't know where to get it on YouTube, you could just go to YouTube and search the Sportsocracy and it'll come right up.
And that's the simplest way.
Yeah, or you could go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. But once you're through to YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you can join us in the chat. Today is going to be so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Today is a day of, well, I tried to tell you.
Well, look, I woke up this morning to breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news?
No.
And I did my little dance.
No. Can't be breaking news 16 hours later.
Well, look, it happened sometime really late last night.
I was still very much awake.
I was not. I was gone. See you later. Woke up this morning, was wondering, first thought went through my mind, I wonder if the Arizona Cardinals gave up the lead. Because I saw most of the first half, saw like 2 plays of the third quarter and fell asleep. And I opened up my phone and it said, breaking news! Christian McCaffrey traded to the San Francisco 49ers. And I went, it's happening! It's happened. Look, I know we're upset. All right, Panther fans, I know you're upset.
And here's my question. why are you
know
upset?
why we're upset. And I say we because I've been a big Christian McCaffrey fan ever since he got drafted by the Panthers. And look, I know we're upset. You're always upset when one of your favorite players is gone from a franchise. But this was the best deal that you were going to get.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
And I'm seeing all these people upset like, I can't believe we didn't get more. What do you mean more? Did you think you were going to get 2 first-round draft picks like the report said? That's where they started. I'm sure that's where they started. They also wanted a house in Boca Raton, and they wanted a bank account offshore filled with $80 billion.
And a date with Eva Longoria.
Right. You weren't getting more than this.
And that leads us into how we start the show every day with the opening drive.
That's right. The opening drive brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Look, that's where I got my car. Jeremy's driving loaners, demos. I shouldn't say loaners. They're demos.
I find something new to love about these cars every single day. Today, heated steering wheel.
Oh.
I turned that on, and I'm not quite sure how I did it, so I'm going to have to Google that. Because I remote started the car, got in it, it was cold outside, nice and warm in the car. Thanks to our friends at 629 Brevard Road, Fred Anderson Nissan. They will give you $250 extra on your trade just for mentioning that you heard about them from us.
Look, one of the places that I have lost the most weight is in my fingies, and my hands are freezing cold all the time. Is that like an add-on that I can put on the 2017 version?
I mean, maybe. You'd have to ask.
I need a heated steering wheel. That's awesome.
Now,
look, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville is where you need to go get your car. Tell them that we sent you. Drop the Sportsocracy name. Just drop our names. They know us. And they will give you a $250 bonus on your trade-in.
Now, speaking of trades, my question would be, if you're a Panther fan today, what exactly did you think you were going to get more than this? To me, this is the best deal that was on the board. You had 2 teams legitimately in. Adam Black in our YouTube comments has already asked, Jeremy, do you know who the 3rd team in the trade talks was? I will tell you what I have been told. It was not the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo was Seacrest out. They were not. They weren't giving up the draft capital. They believe in James Cook. It wasn't them. To the best of what I can tell, and this is not verified, but it has been said in a hushed tone to me more than once, it was the Baltimore Ravens. That was the other team that was involved. Okay. And apparently they were offering like 2 day 3 picks. Like, we'll take the contract, but we're not giving anything of any tangible value. The Rams, I think they were close in terms of compensation, but the 49ers have 6 extra 3rd-round picks from having Mike McDaniel, Robert Saleh hired off their coaching staff.
And the other guy that we can't ever remember his name.
No, it'll come to me in a minute. But this is why San Francisco was willing to do this. You just got the equivalent of a late first-round pick for what was an albatross contract. I know you wear his jersey. I get it. I get it. I said last night there were people in my Twitter inbox that I felt the urge to check on today because they were not okay. This is the best move you could possibly have made. This is the best move you could possibly have made. You got a 2, 3, and 4 this year. You know who looks at that and goes, "Oh, I can do a lot with that." Ken Dorsey, Mike Kafka, these high-end coaches, Scott Fitterer. This is how we rebuild a franchise.
Martin Mayhew was the guy that got hired off to the Washington Commanders.
See, I always forget him because he was a GM before. I always forget that still counts. So if you're Carolina, this is a win because now you look to whoever the quarterback's going to be. It's going to be somebody that you draft high, whether it's C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis. Now I can go get weapons that fit you specifically. I can fill the holes. I can stay cheap. I can go get a free agent because I've got $12 million a year for the next 3 years coming off my cap that's not on a running back. Look how many teams around the league are playing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round running backs and are just fine. It's a luxury for good teams. That is exactly what I said when we talked about this earlier this week, and I said Carolina should be calling every team in the league saying who will give me the most. That's exactly what they did.
And the San Francisco 49ers, it's the reason I'm wearing my my throwback John Lynch jersey, doing another bang-up job as the GM because I think it's a beautiful deal for them as well.
It absolutely is.
I mean, this is a win-win for everybody involved. Look,
I asked this on Twitter last night. Who was the loser here? Who lost this?
I mean, in the short term, Panther fans. In the short term, Panther fans, you lose. You feel like you lost this deal because now you don't have anything to pull for. Now it's completely like.
But who cares? You didn't have anything to pull for anyway.
I get it.
Well, now we don't have a running back that empty runs for $1.07 every week, and we get beat by 20.
Oh no, we suck again. No,
I posted this on Twitter the minute this trade happened. As soon as it came down, I posted this on Twitter. Who won the trade with CMC to the 49ers? The Carolina Panthers, San Francisco 49ers, Christian McCaffrey. Who you think won?
All of them.
No. Who won the poll?
Who won the poll? Christian McCaffrey.
46.2%.
Yeah.
Who finished second?
San Francisco.
36.3. Carolina's at 17.6. To me, you have this backwards.
Mm-hmm.
To me, all the percentages are right because they are all winners. But the Panthers are the big winner of this. Because now you have replenished the draft capital that you gave up for that bum quarterback, Baker Mayfield. By the way, Dan Patrick, let's stop talking about how this is such a loss for him. It doesn't really matter who they trade. It's going to have zero effect on Baker Mayfield. Because he can hold a clipboard and wear a headset just as easily with Christian McCaffrey, Deontay Foreman, Chuba Hubbard, me, Tank Spencer. None of that matters. All right, because it's P.J. Walker until Sam Darnold comes back, and it will be Sam here on out.
100%.
Now, the question that I have been burning on all day is, if you're Carolina, how far do you go?
All the way. All the way with the offense. There's already rumors out there, very hot rumors apparently, that DJ Moore is going to be next. He will be dealt at some point, I think I heard this week. Like they want to get it done by, close of business today to send DJ Moore somewhere. I think you do completely tear down the offense. Defense is fine. And defense is young, and I know it's going to get expensive in a year or two. But you need to keep that. That's the good part.
I don't agree with you.
You don't.
I don't agree with you.
Why?
Because the pieces on the defense are very scheme specific.
Okay.
If you go 3-4, Derek Brown is irrelevant. If you go 3-4, Brian Burns is loosely irrelevant. And so now you have these players that are shoehorning you into a position. Mm-hmm. If I'm Scott Fitterer, I am making it known to every team in the NFL, there's no player on this team that I won't listen. Philadelphia, you want to come at me for Brian Burns? 2 first-round picks. You have 2? We want 2. You give me one of those you got this year, you give me a conditional next year, and you can have Brian Burns. Derek Brown, you're not going to get a first-round pick for him. You would probably get a 2 and a conditional 4. Come at the king, you best not miss.
Mm-hmm.
There is no player on this team I'm not listening. Because I want to tear this down to the studs.
Yeah.
I know I'm the worst team in the NFL. It's me, the Bears, handful of others. Nobody else is close. I want the number 1 pick, and I want this job to be as brass tacks as it can be for whoever comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You are not beholden to anything. What do you want to do? Empower the coach. Look around the National Football League. 3 best teams in the league. Who are they?
Oh, you got the Buffalo Bills.
What's the GM's name?
It's Brandon Beane.
There you go. You see how you had to think about that? Because this is Sean McDermott from pillar to post.
Mm-hmm.
Sean McDermott controls everything.
Mm-hmm. You got Kansas City Chiefs.
Andy Reid controls everything.
Mm-hmm. And the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nick Sirianni controls everything but the play call. He handed that off. That's exactly what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where this becomes a problem is where you know the GM better than you know the coach.
Right.
This one of the things that we talk about all the time is this is a quarterback-driven league. It very much is. It's still a head coach-driven league too. And you're in a smallish market. I hate to tell you this, but yes, Charlotte is a smallish market in the NFL.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah, by comparison, it's a smallish market.
Absolutely.
You don't have necessarily stars. So who's going to be the star of this team moving forward? It's the coach. That's how this is going to work. If you want to be good, you want to go get that hot shot that's going to lead you to the promised land in a division, that is infinitely winnable based off what I saw last night. Starting next year. This is how you do it. This was the right call. It was always the right call. I said it earlier this week, and I will continue saying it. This was the right decision.
I agree. It's an absolute win for everybody involved. M. Bradley in the comments on the YouTube channel says, isn't CMC the loser? He's going to the 49ers who don't use their running backs.
No,
right.
God, no. He's already familiar with this scheme. You've still got Elijah Mitchell. If anything, his workload just went through the floor. He's not going to be asked to do nearly as much. This was the perfect scenario. Now, I didn't think San Francisco was going to pony up the capital to go get a running back. When you drafted one in the 3rd round, you got Elijah Mitchell that's coming back from injury.
But eventually you look at it and go, okay, we're screwing this up. Like we don't draft running backs well. And
I
we've
don't
got
agree
a
with
window
you.
here. We've got
Jeff
a window
Wilson's fine. Elijah Mitchell's fine. You just don't have that weapon. What Kyle Shanahan looked at, look, he wanted Christian McCaffrey 4 years ago. When he was in the draft and they took Solomon Thomas, he wanted to take Christian McCaffrey there. But that was 3, and that's too high, and they took Solomon Thomas, who now plays for my Jets. And I forgot that until today.
Does he really?
Yeah, I forgot that until today. But now he's just another weapon in an offense that's going to be difficult to game plan. I think everybody's a winner here. Very rarely do I look at trades, especially in the NFL, and go, everybody won. There is no loser. Everyone should be happy.
Pennywise says J.C. Horn is the star.
J.C. Horn's the only untouchable. I don't want to move Jeremy Chin, but if you gave me enough, I'll consider it. J.C. Horn is the one guy, I don't care what system you bring in here. He works. He works in all of them. Dante Jackson, give me one edible arrangement bouquet and a gift card to Kohl's. Bye-bye.
I'll just take an edible. Like, just give me an edible and we'll be fine.
At Sports Take ESPN.
I don't need Dante Jackson anymore. If it were me, I would be keeping the defense intact. But you are the X's and O's guy, so I get what you're saying.
It just shoehorns you into one specific kind of defense.
I get what you're saying about that.
Look, draft capital is king in the NFL. There's a reason that every high-level team in the NFL at some point has made a trade down in the last 5 years. Did you know that? It's 100% true.
Really?
Every one of the top 3 teams has made a trade down where they got a lot of capital and they crushed it. There's a reason for that. Then when you're good, that's when you trade up. That's when you use your draft picks to add these Christian McCaffreys, the A.J. Browns, the Stephon Diggs, I was trying to think of one with Kansas City, but they drafted them all. That's how you do this. This is how the game's played.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
Yeah, he was a free agent signing. That didn't really play into what I was looking for.
I got you.
That's how the game's played. Good for Carolina, good for Scott Fitterer, good for Christian McCaffrey. We wish you well.
And Jeremy and I will be there to see all the bags on the heads of the Carolina Panthers fans.
I have a feeling that the cell phone camera will be used at least a couple times to just go, whoa. It's a little tense in here.
Right. Because we all know fan is short for fanatic, and you can't be you can't look at this for what it is and go, this was a damn good deal.
It's a perfect deal. Very rarely do I ever say that. It's a perfect deal.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Yes, we are going to get into all of the picks today. Jeremy's got all the bangers as well at the end of every hour. Asheville Police Chief Zack will be joining us in the 4 o'clock hour to play Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Check her out at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Back with more next.
It really touches my heart that individuals at Ingles treat you like family. They invest their love into you. They invest their business into you. And they give back to communities in rural areas like ours. I don't know exactly where family farmers like mine would be without Ingles supermarkets.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Hey folks, DG here. Y'all know I've always loved the slogan, Smiles Change Lives, which I first heard years ago from Dr. Rebecca Merrill of Asheville Smiles. I hope you will live that slogan here in 2022. Whether it's just time for a routine cleaning, you want to learn more about Invisalign, a great alternative to braces, you need a diagnosis and treatment plan, or if you don't have dental insurance, you just want to learn more about her special membership plans. 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Oh, and there are huge smiles. Huge smiles today for everybody involved. Carolina Panthers, for Christian McCaffrey, for the San Francisco 49ers, for the McCaffrey and Shanahan families. That's the coolest part of this to me. And you know me, narrative guy. The fact that Christian is now going to be playing for Kyle after Ed, his dad, played for Mike, Kyle's dad. Just think that's a cool connection. And you know what? Happy for Arizona. Happy for Arizona getting a win. And it's not just because the Saints lost, but of course, as a Buccaneers fan, and if you're a Panthers fan and Falcons fan, we can all take joy in the fact that the New Orleans Saints are poopy.
Yeah, the Saints are not good.
No.
We'll talk about that in the next segment. But there's something I want to talk about with Arizona. I don't know in all the years I've been doing this that I've ever looked at a win that I valued to be more of a loss.
Why?
If you're the Arizona Cardinals, you have to fire Cliff Kingsbury right now.
Yes, you do.
Kyler Murray does not respect him in any shape, form, or fashion. Nope. And you just had that broadcast on national television in a game with 20 million people watching it.
Mm-hmm. It was super uncomfortable. Like, I'm not attached to the Arizona Cardinals at all. You're not a big fan of Kyler Murray, not a big fan of Cliff Kingsbury, but I was embarrassed by watching that for them.
Look, I was a player and I was a coach. And I can tell you from the player side, I have never played for a coach that I felt like I could be whatever that was. If you know what we're talking about, a timeout was called. They were late getting a play call in, and Kyler Murray comes over and gets in Cliff Kingsbury's face and tells him to calm the bleep down.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad look. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't acknowledge anything else that happened from there. 2 forced interceptions, one that you got very lucky and it fell right in your lap. None of that matters. You're not going to win this way. And you are beholden to Kyler Murray. At this point, this franchise is Kyler Murray.
Yes.
For better or for worse, by hook or by crook, this is where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And so you better find somebody that he doesn't have to like him. He has to respect him.
They really needed to lose that game.
That felt like being in the Walmarts, as you like to say it,
yeah.
and watching a kid mouth off to their parent.
Oh, I hate those.
There's a solution for that that you can't really talk about, but there's a solution there.
Yep.
Because that kid, you might want to be his friend, but you're the parent. You're the adult here.
Yeah, and it costs $10, and it's right over there in the men's section, right next to the pants. That's
at Sports Tank ESPN.
You can at me if you want to. That's
how that felt to me.
Absolutely, that's how it felt. And I know it's weird me saying they needed to lose that game, but winning that game now makes it more uncomfortable. Oh God, I mean, if you'd have lost, if you'd have blown a
oh, don't worry. You got plenty of opportunities.
Sure.
You're at the Minnesota Vikings next week.
But if you'd have lost, if you'd have blown the lead and it wasn't good, you lose the game, then you could have had the press conference this morning of just this ain't working. Cliff Kingsbury's gone. You can't really do that after a win.
No, but you'll get plenty more opportunities because you go at the Vikings, Seahawks, at the Rams, 49ers, Chargers, Patriots. Woof.
Yeah, there's at least 4 losses.
No doubt. And look, it was good to see DeAndre Hopkins come back. He was obviously a very big part of the game plan.
And man, did he not look good.
He had almost as many targets as the rest of the offense put together.
Mm-hmm. That I told you that was the one thing that I was looking forward to in that game last night was to see what DeAndre Hopkins looks like physically. And man, he reminded me really quickly. Not that I forgot, but he reminded me I am one of the best in this game.
So I saw the talent very obviously. I also saw a lot of agitation in his face. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah.
So down on the goal line, he doesn't even know the play call and has no clue. And that's understandable. You've been away from the team. I get it. But even after that, Kyler comes over and has the little powwow with him on the sideline, and it looked like Charlie Brown's teacher. Just wah, 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 wah. Nothing is actually marinating here. Mm-hmm. It looked like DeAndre Hopkins just wanted to put his finger on Kyler Murray's forehead and go, how about you go away, little boy? I'm going to do me. I don't need your Johnny Rah-Rah or whatever this is. How about you get away from me?
Well, he looked to me supremely irritated that he wasn't getting the ball. I mean, that was clearly obvious in that first half of what are you doing? Why are you out here throwing to everyone but me? Why is it that we get down in the red zone and I can't get a target? I felt like, remember this was probably 2015, 2016, Atlanta Falcons. Remember that year that they just couldn't get into the end zone? Like they would get inside the red zone and they would come up empty or have to kick field goals damn near every time they got down there. And it was all because you're not throwing the ball to Julio Jones. You got one of the best receivers in the game, a huge guy that you can lean on when you get in the red zone, and you're not targeting him. And that's how I felt about DeAndre Hopkins last night. Do you think I forgot? Do you think I got that while I was gone there was a Space Jam ball somewhere that I forgot how to play this game? I am the guy. Why are you targeting everyone else? And then that just kind of continued until they found a rhythm in the second half.
By the way, did you happen to notice who scored all the touchdowns last night? The Cardinals defense had 2.
Mm-hmm.
The other scorers combined were Taysom Hill, Rashid Shaheed, Jawan Johnson had 2, human Greg Dortch had one. Keontae Ingram and Eno Benjamin. And Keontae Ingram almost had two.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the most useless fantasy night in the history of football.
I started Keontae Ingram.
But not because you meant to, because you're killed and you didn't have another choice.
I was killed at running back.
Don't take your bad drafting and make it sound like you had some vision of the future.
When Keontae scored that touchdown, I went, yeah! Because I had to start him last week, too, and he got 1.3 points. So the touchdown was nice to have.
Matthew Berry posted that out on Twitter, and I don't know that I've ever agreed with something more. Man, that was a lot of points, and it helped nobody.
No one. Helped absolutely no one. Kyler Murray, I mean, part of me looked at Kyler, and I was kind of on his side of, look, I don't know what he was really upset about. Because I thought it was a scenario of maybe the coaches are like, he's too amped up and he's like screaming in Kyler's ear and Kyler can't concentrate or whatever. I don't know truly what it was. They just said afterwards, what was it? He said that Cliff Kingsbury said, I get a little animated on the sidelines and Kyler was trying to calm me down. I like being emotional. I was like, I don't feel like that's a good statement for a head coach in the NFL to make.
You know what I heard there? That's where you go to a dinner party. It's all couples, and two of them spend the entire night screaming at each other, and then their response is, we challenge each other. I love to be challenged.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you put lipstick on that all you want to. It's still not good.
No, it really wasn't, but I agree with you. The Arizona Cardinals have a major problem, and its name is Cliff Kingsbury.
No doubt.
When you do not have the confidence of your star quarterback, who you just paid way more money than he's worth, they got to do something. I know he just got an extension. I know Steve Keim just got an extension as well, but Steve Keim's got to step in here and go, we just can't do this. We can't have this on display on national television. You guys bickering at each other. I can't do anything about Kyler, but I can do something about you.
And that's why you need a coach that's got not always the heavy hand. He just knows how to deal with a team, which leads me into my story for just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh. He had a less than ideal day yesterday, as Elijah Moore reportedly requested a trade after taking a personal day and missing practice on Thursday. Well, Saleh had media availability today, and his response was, it's part of what we deal with every day. We've had our discussions with Elijah. Trading him's not an option. We'll just keep working with him. Oh, and by the way, Elijah will not play this week.
No.
That is how you handle that. Good for Robert Saleh. Jets by $1 billion. Let's go. Let's go.
Jets by $1 billion.
Every time I have said something derogatory about Robert Saleh out loud, he has responded by going, receipts.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you handle that. Oh, you have a malcontent that, I don't want to be here. Okay. Go sit at home. How about that?
Mm-hmm. You don't like the fact that you get to dress out for the game and we don't use you like you want? How about you just not dress?
The thing that I find the funniest about that is you've watched how they've handled Denzel Mims, who is borderline irrelevant. Why did you think they were going to treat you any differently?
Well, because I'm Zach Wilson.
I demand a trade. I demand a Ferrari and for my mullet to come back into style.
Well, I go, because he's Zach Wilson's favorite target, or at least he was.
No, Garrett Wilson
at the end of the year.
Well, Corey Davis now is Zach Wilson's favorite target, but I believe Elijah has been replaced in the pecking order with one Mr. Garrett Wilson, who does want to be here. Let's go, Garrett Wilson. Let's go.
There you go, and I hope you get something out of Elijah.
I would say he will come back after a little reflective thought, and he'll be totally committed to the cause with a JETS. Jets.
Or knowing Joe Douglas, he may not come back at all.
Well, he's DMP don't want to Denzel Mims all year.
Mm-hmm.
So, Denzel, you want to trade? Great. Coach, I don't have a helmet. You don't need one. Have no fear. We didn't do that by accident.
No, but I think I think there would be takers. There would be takers for Elijah Moore out there.
No
somewhere.
doubt. 1 and a 3.
That's what it's going to cost.
1 and a 3. Come to King, you best not miss. Green Bay Packers. We're listening. As soon as you want to show up with an offer, feel free. Joe D has said many times, there is no untouchable player on this roster, but it's going to cost you. I love my team so much. I'm going to relish in this one day before they let me down against the Denver Broncos.
Stop that.
Here's the thing: I don't get to wear the jersey. The jersey's 3-0 this year, and I don't get to wear it because we'll be in Charlotte. I might put it in the back seat of your car just to stow it away.
Come on, Leonard. You can do better.
Leonard?
Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny. You know, he always wears the LSU stuff underneath, like Michael Jordan did his Carolina stuff when he was with the Bulls. You be creative. You can find a way to do that.
Well, the only problem is that I would look like I was trying to smuggle something into the stadium, and it would be very confusing as to what.
Oh, that's right. You want to use the jersey itself. You can absolutely hang it in the car.
Yeah, that's probably the right call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jets by 40. Let's go.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, and coming up next, what is the deal with the New Orleans Saints? How did Andy Dalton play that entire game last night? We'll talk about it up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell is sorry for going too far with its past breakfast. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food, like a breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, cheese, sausage, hash browns wrapped in a warm tortilla. Grab one at participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. while supplies last.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
If money is what scares you this fall, then listen here for your $1,000 inflation bonus. Win $1,000 every hour, weekdays between 9 and 5. Happening now, right here.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com.
or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
I think that drop was specifically made for Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. Like, what are you doing?
They did not have a they did not have a great night.
No, not. I mean, look. Andy Dalton, he's, serviceable. It's fine. But not after throwing 3 picks in the first half, 2 of them pick sixes.
Well, here's the thing. You just got to you have to compartmentalize these things. Andy Dalton threw 6 touchdowns last night. It's just the only problem is only 4 of them went to his team.
What are you doing letting Andy Dalton throw it 47 times in a game after he's already given up 2 touchdowns to the defense? Like, Richard Sherman at the halftime show said, if Andy Dalton's going to be out here throwing the ball away, then you just got to play Jameis.
Or Taysom Hill.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Somebody other than Andy Dalton. I just don't understand how you're still beholden to Andy, knowing that Jameis is apparently healthy. He was there. He was doing stuff. He was sitting
on the sideline going, what does he have to do for you to put me in?
Exactly.
Does he actually have to punch you in the mouth before you put me in for him? Because I'm starting to think that's what it would require.
I don't like I don't like how any of last night went down for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, it was well on the way to being a nice Saints night. And then the second quarter happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the second quarter did not go your way. That's what happens when you throw 2 pick sixes in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand one of them wasn't his fault. I get that. I mean, he can't throw it and catch it.
Yeah, the one that bounced off of the receiver's hands.
Marquez Callaway.
Yeah.
Another guy that did not have a particularly great night last night.
Mm-hmm. But the one he threw in the end zone was
an awful read.
Was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not normally the one that, bitches to my wife about what I'm seeing on the screen, but I'm doing the Jeremy Greene thing going, what did you see there? He threw it right into double coverage. And then I saw another replay, and I went, oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. That was triple coverage.
I genuinely think my wife could probably break down film better than 90% of people, solely because she gets to listen to me complain about everything.
Right. It was awful. It was an awful, turn of events with those 3 picks in the first half, leading to 21 points for the other team.
I'm going to conspiracy theorize here that Dennis Allen is nothing more than a placeholder. We've talked about Sean Payton and where Sean Payton going to go, and makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras.
You think he's coming back?
I do.
I don't.
Last night confirmed it to me, to be really honest with you. Because there is no way, if you had a long-term plan outside of that, I mean, I get people don't get fired after 7 games. I'm well aware of that. Did you happen to go to Twitter after the rousing halftime speech from Dennis Allen?
Oh, tell us. What happened?
It was carnage of Saints fans, because he basically said, what's your takeaway from Andy Dalton's performance? Well, nothing. I'm not saying you have to have a PR guy, but I'm going to say you're going to have to answer better than that, because that was bad.
Nothing. I learned nothing.
I can't tell you definitively that Sean Payton would want this job back, but it's going to be talked about. You mark my words. And the Saints can keep him from going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Till that contract expires, they hold him forever.
They're not gonna, though.
I'm not as confident of that. I'm not as confident of that. He loves New Orleans. I'm not sure that the ownership doesn't go to him and go, what do you want? Do you want personnel control? We'll give it to you.
Okay.
We'll give you whatever you want. You go find a quarterback because everything outside of the quarterback on this team is good.
I don't think the other teams in the NFL, whoever they are, whether it be the Dallas Cowboys or the Carolina Panthers or the Los Angeles Chargers or whoever is going to step into the sweepstakes, they're not going to allow that to just happen. Like, they will offer the farm.
What does it matter? They don't have any control.
No, I get it.
They have no control over this. That's what nobody seems to understand.
But if Sean doesn't want the job, they will make it worth New Orleans'
Then I
while.
really hope you enjoy doing television. I can leverage you out here. I mean, this is business 101. I have something you want, which is your ability to go out and coach and do whatever you want. Maybe you want the Cowboys job. I don't care what you want. I control your rights.
Mm-hmm.
You signed a contract with me. There is no amount of because none of these teams are coming off 2-1s. Now, somebody shows up and says, we'll give you 2 first-round picks for him. Okay, now we'll talk.
I think somebody will. If it comes to that.
I'm not as sure of that. I am not as sure of that.
I don't see any path that Sean Payton is not coaching in this league next year.
I don't either. And I think it's going to be with a very familiar hat.
Okay.
How old is Sean Payton?
58?
He's 58. He'll be 59 in a month. So you're telling me a team's going to come off 2 first-round picks for a coach that'll be almost 60 years old by the start of next year?
Did I nail that? That's awesome.
You did. That never happens. Usually you would go 14 years old.
Missed it by that much.
96. I just don't buy it. Mm-hmm. This is one of those times when you hear hoofbeats, it makes a lot more sense to assume horses than zebras. He wants a job in this league. The Saints are very obviously beholden to him because this offense, do you know how many yards they had last night?
No.
497. That was the emptiest 497-yard offensive attack I have ever seen. Because in large part, it looked completely listless.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand a lot of it happened late against back-off defense. I'm aware of that. You need Sean Payton. You need Sean Payton more than anybody is going to pay you to make that deal.
Mm-hmm. And they do control his future. They can decide where he goes if he doesn't want to be there. But if he decides he doesn't want to be there, they're not just going to let him sit there for 2 years.
And all right, so Adam Black in our YouTube comment said, so let Sean Payton go for nothing in 2 years or get something for him. Come on, draft guy. You say it's not how this works. Because they will hold his rights. This is not the contract just expired. You can push this for quite some time. And all right, do the math. 2024, he's 61 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. By that time, what do I care? I will have gone through 2 iterations of coaching staffs by then. I will have already churned Dennis Allen and somebody else. Now, if he specifically looks at me and says, I'm never coming back to you ever, I don't buy that would happen. And I've heard this from more than one person of, if he was pressed, I don't think it would happen. Of, we're not going to trade you. Okay, then I'll come back and coach you.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Holt says Sean Payton to Washington. I can't see that. I can't see him.
That's actually one of the places that makes the most sense.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Money. Everybody undervalues that side of this. Money talks. What team in the NFL needs Sean Payton more than the New Orleans Saints? I'll wait. Because if you don't have an emotional connection to this team, what exactly are you looking at going, oh, yeah, I can't wait to do that? A 27-year-old running back who, yes, is dynamic. He's also expensive. An oft-hurt slot receiver. By the way, Michael Thomas has been out with a toe for now going on the same amount of time that Brian Robinson was out after being shot. Trust me, I've heard that from more than one person. This is not a very attractive job right now. And so when you have a desperate owner that still feels like they're in a window looking at a division that's not going to be very good in a year, you got a coach that wants to get back in, and I got more money than I know what to do with. Yeah, I see a path that Sean Payton is patrolling that sideline again.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. You know what time it is.
It's time for the bangers.
That's right, the first set of bangers for this Football Friday here on ESPN Asheville inside the Ingles Studio. Green on Green is coming up next.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent, but then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try Babbel for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Coffee store closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
9-7 last week. Let's go. And the big dog continues to eat. And I got 2 more for you this week. 5 picks in the opening segment. This is where we do favorites. You know I don't like favorites. I don't like giving points. Giving points is gross. But I got a few. First, TCU's a 3.5-point favorite against Kansas State. I'm going to be honest with you, TCU's for real. I don't know what happened to Max Duggan. I don't know if he had an up-close and personal meeting with a UFO or something. He has all of a sudden become a very good, very dynamic quarterback, and TCU is a legitimate contender to win the Big 12. Give me the Horned Frogs -3.5. Texas A&M's a 3-point favorite at South Carolina. That's not going to stop being funny. No matter how many times I say that, it's not going to stop being funny. This is a much bigger, much more physical team. South Carolina's been a good story. They're much better than I thought they would be. At the end of the day, it's Spencer Rattler against a good defense. Horses, not zebras. A&M. Next, Oregon's a 6.5-point favorite at home against UCLA. I'm going to die on this hill. I'm too far up it now. It would cost me more to go back down than just try to keep going up. Oregon's the better team. I understand a team like Georgia will push them around. I don't think UCLA can do it, especially not in Autzen Stadium. Bo Nix is different at home. Oregon minus the 6.5. Here's something I've never done before. Vanderbilt's a 14-point dog at Missouri. I don't think I've ever taken – in all the years we've been doing this, I don't think I've ever given you a Vanderbilt banger before. But here I am giving you a Vanderbilt banger. Commodores plus the 14. Now, something I have done, and I've done it a lot.
Country roads, take me home
to the place I belong. West Virginia, my Mountaineers, baby. 6-point dog at Texas Tech. It's another team I have not bought into. And this is a gut feeling call. Everything tells me it should be Texas Tech. And then I look at the money, and it's heavily overweight on West Virginia. That's one of my dirty little secrets about betting games. If you tell me I can have my Mountaineers and I'm with the sharp money, I'm doing it. Take me home plus the 6. They went outright.
And take your bets over to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into the account up to $2,500. Lots of free play money there for you to bring home the bacon.
And you can take those free play dollars and throw them on these dog water NBA games that nobody should be watching anyway, and just take the free dollars. Clippers last night. Minus 5.5. Let's go.
There you go.
Foul late. Thank you, Lakers. I was on the right side of that for 24 minutes. And in that last 30 seconds, I went, no. There it is. That's what I wanted.
Jeremy loves to be on the right side.
I do.
I've always been on the wrong side of health, though. But that's all changed with PhD weight loss program. Last Thanksgiving, we started with PhD. And since then, I've lost more than 90 pounds. None of my clothes fit anymore. I'm having to get a whole new wardrobe. That's one of the things, like, you got a favorite shirt, favorite sweatshirt, favorite article of clothing that you just love to wear out in public. I don't have that anymore. Like, I'm having to find all new favorites. But I'm good with it, because that means I'm going to get to live a little bit longer now that I'm 90 pounds down.
It's ironic you brought up a favorite article of clothing, because I am currently wearing a Florida State hoodie that it's been out of the rotation for quite some time, because when I wore it, I looked like a wet dog trying to come in through the cat door. But thanks to the weight loss program of PhD, I'm back down to my high school weight. I'm fitting in clothes that I don't actually know why I kept. And it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD weight loss.
There is a program out there that can take two of the biggest slovenly lummoxes in the history of time and make them healthier. They can definitely do the same for you. Go to myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com.
This is the time that everybody waits for every week.
Mm-hmm.
We're bringing in the big guy.
Yep.
I have bad news for all of those that have had the rally cap that were expecting me to go wire to wire. I have lost my lead.
Yes, he has. And to the guy who just never means to.
And it's only by a game. And if you go down the rabbit hole and look at the Thursday night games I've picked, I actually, percentage points, I'm still ahead of you, and I'm taking that victory. You choose not to pick those games. I've always given you the opportunity. You just don't.
I mean, I will just throw this out. Do you not remember what I said after your pick last night?
That you're on Arizona?
That I'm on Arizona.
Well,
and that would have been another win for me. Look, winning is just in my blood.
Well, here's the thing. Even if I gave you that one, wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, probably not. But there is a new leader in the clubhouse for Beat the Chief. We will play with Asheville Police Chief Zack coming up after the SportsCenter update at the top of the hour, picking every game in the NFL by the spread. And yes, I, for once, am in the – oh, wait. I won last year. Man, it feels good to be in the lead. I'm talking it up because it's not going to happen again. I'm going to lose it this week. And it's probably going to be because my team is going to go down to Charlotte and lose to that other dog water team in the NFL without Christian McCaffrey.
I'm here again as a simple man that does not ask for much. But all I ask is please give me 1 2-hour ride back from Charlotte with Tank hanging a nail to the...
We'll be back in the Ingles studio next to play Beat the Chief.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Warehouse of Asheville.
By Warehouse Direct at Mattress Warehouse, with over 30 queen mattresses for less than $7.99. This week only, save up to $600 on popular brands. Get a free adjustable base and free next-day delivery. Plus, get 0% interest financing. This event won't last long. Only at Mattress Warehouse.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at Audible.com.
Stream now, pay never with Pluto TV. Subscriptions and fees don't exist.
Showtime!
We've got the blockbuster movies you want and the TV shows you love to binge. So stream until your heart's content with hundreds of live channels and thousands of movies on demand, all streaming free on Pluto TV.
Yeah, let's do it.
Stream now, pay never.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Doug Brown. Joe Musgrove for the Padres, Ranger Suarez for the Phillies, starting Game 3 of the NLCS tonight. The series tied at 1. ESPN's Todd Frazier is wondering about Musgrove.
Is he going to be the Musgrove of old against the Mets, or is he going to not do what he's supposed to do? He's got 4 pitches. He's a great pitcher. And at the end of the day, that crowd in Philly, are they going to come to play and help out those Phillies in Game 3?
Our Game 3 coverage at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. John Schneider gets a 3-year deal to be the manager of the Blue Jays. He's been the interim manager since Charlie Montoyo was fired in July. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins will be out 4 to 6 weeks. He needs arthroscopic left knee surgery. The Buccaneers will be without D lineman Akeem Hicks, tight end Cameron Brate, and corner Sean Murphy-Bunting for Sunday's game against the Panthers. Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett clears concussion protocol. He is ready to start Sunday's game against the Dolphins.
As the leaves change, leave the hiring to Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. That's win. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And there's definitely no holding back on a football Friday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, always heard everywhere for free on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you no matter where you go. You can see us also on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link. Once you're through to YouTube, you can click the subscribe button, and that will get you into the chat. You can also get all those live alerts whenever we are on. Fantasy show coming up tomorrow, Jeremy?
Yes, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is Eastern with me and Armchair Commentary. We will be answering all of your questions, and then we will replay it in that slot during the drive down to Charlotte,
Bank of
America.
Yeah.
I had gone all the way back to Erickson in my mind.
That's a long time ago.
And in the chat, since I won't be driving because, frankly, we're going to a stadium that serves domestic lights and nobody with an IQ above salad dressing would trust me to drive back. I will be answering your live fantasy questions in the chat of the replay.
There we go.
It's a solution right there.
10 o'clock tomorrow morning, live fantasy game time decisions. You want to be there for that. Also, the playback on Sunday. Subscription, very easy. You can join the house. And as Asheville Police Chief David Zack found out last week, the house always wins. The House of Reprehensibles, you could join that as well once you subscribe to the channel. Just go to the sportsocracy.com and click on that live video link. It is a Football Friday, and that means we have Asheville Police Chief David Zack here to play Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com.
Breaking rocks in a hot sun. I fall for love.
Tank one. And he's got the lead. All right, I know that didn't go with the beat of the song, but I don't care because
that's how I feel like your karaoke would go.
Oh, 100%.
Just like Morgan Wallen's first cousin, old Caterwallen.
Old Caterwallen. And Caterwallen now has the lead in the Beat the Chief contest. Right back at the top where he belongs after a 7-5 week. Last week, I am now one game ahead of Jeremy and the Chief, who are tied for last place.
So
we're tied for second.
Yeah, we're tied for second.
Well, I mean, you ain't first. You're last.
Oh, God, hubris comes shortly before the fall. Tank's going 2-14 and hanging a loss to the Panthers. Let's go.
As we do each and every week on Beat the Chief, we will be picking every NFL game by the spread. And the first game of the week that we will be picking in the 1 o'clock slate on Sunday features the Dallas Cowboys against the Detroit Lions. Dallas Cowboys are a 7-point favorite at home against Detroit.
Can I go first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time I pick the Lions, we know what happens. Cowboys plus the 7. Don't even care.
Minus the 7.
Or minus the 7. I'm sorry.
I wish it was. If it was plus the 7, this would have been much easier to pick.
All right. Chiefs taking Dallas to cover the 7. I'm going to be on the other side of you. I'm on Detroit plus the 7. I just think this offense is too good. The offense is too good. They're going to be able to score points. I know that the Dallas defense has been, locked down, and they got Micah Parsons and all that. Yeah, and he's going to give them trouble, no doubt. But this will be the best offensive line they faced all year. True?
That is certainly true. And you're taking this away that I don't particularly care. DeAndre Swift is back.
Mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown's back.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a track meet because neither one of these teams is going to be able to stop the other one. I hate doing this, but I'm with you. I'm taking the other Detroit Lions.
Nice. Detroit plus the 7. Chief, he's going to stand alone with the Dallas Cowboys.
How'd they do last week?
Dallas?
No, the Lions.
No, they were on
a bye.
They were on a bye.
Or 2 weeks ago. Pats, right?
They didn't go well.
Detroit only lost by 4 to the bye.
Yeah. Whatever.
DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown change a lot.
Absolutely.
That is, I'll be honest with you, I could see a path that Detroit wins this game outright because DeAndre Swift is the stereotypical player. The way that Dan Quinn defense is situated, that's the kind of guy they don't want to deal with because he changes things with the linebackers and changes the way you blitz, and now you got to deal with something with a safety. And I'm going to say this again. I am here humbly telling you that Dak Prescott is not a top 10 quarterback, and I don't care that much that he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas probably wins. Detroit covers.
I do care. I do care that Dak is back, and I think this is probably the perfect scenario for him to come back against a team that cannot play defense. And he'll look good, and he'll get all the Cowboy fans all riled up of, oh, see, this is what we've been missing. But I still like Detroit to keep it close. The New York Giants. go down to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are a 3-point favorite at home against the 5-1 New York Giants. Does that sound odd to anybody other than me?
Nope.
Why?
The New York Giants are not as good as people are making them out to be. Vegas has a very tried and true principle of not overreacting to things that they have seen and not overreacting to things that are not replicable.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you have Daniel Jones that through 6 games has thrown for less than 1,100 yards, that's going to be difficult for you to win on the road. This has been one of the hardest games to pick for me all week. And I'm just going to verify. You have this at Jaguars -3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Jags.
Taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to cover the 3 at home. Get the outright win. It's not a bad pick on your part. But I'm not doing it. I can't. I think I said this last week when I took the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have bitten me 3 weeks in a row. And I'm not going to do it again. I can't be on your side again. And there's just something about this Giants team. Look, I know I don't like Daniel Jones. I never have. I love Saquon Barkley. He's finally got lanes to run through. That defense has found something with, what's his name? What's the defensive coordinator's name?
Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale. It was going to come to me at some point. With Wink Martindale taking over there, I like the Giants getting points in this scenario against a team that I just don't know one week to the other who's going to show up. Is this going to be a good Jacksonville Jaguars team that beat the holy hell out of the Los Angeles Chargers, or is this going to be the team that had 5 turnovers in the Philadelphia Eagles game? I'm on the Giants +3. Chief, what say you?
Giants are probably the best story, right? Got to be one of the best stories so far this year.
Well, I mean, I think the Jets would be a close.
Jets are right up there as well. Yeah, I would agree.
J-E-T.
Dable's done an amazing job. Obviously, just even changing the culture with New York. He's doing an amazing job. But I'm kind of going to side with Jeremy on this one. I think that some of that good luck and good fortune runs out a little bit this week, and they're due for a loss. So I think I like the Jags here.
Okay. All right.
Here's the other thing that Ascendo in our YouTube comments said, you keep saying the Giants aren't very good, but they keep winning. Let me ask you a question. How many of these games that they've won have been truly on the road? How many road games have the Giants played all year long?
Well, they won the first one in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. End of message. Repeat the line.
That was it?
That's the only true road game they've won so far.
Oh, wow.
I don't trust teams that can't beat you more than one way on the road. I know they won a game in London. Both teams are dealing with it then. Mm-hmm. I'm aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence in his natural habitat. If the Giants can't get after him, I think they're going to struggle to stop him.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a public narrative. Everybody's aggressively on the Giants and aggressively off the Jaguars because of what's happened the last few weeks. I don't think there's a huge discrepancy between the talent in the two. And Jacksonville's at home.
Okay. 2 games, 2 disagreements. I like the way this is shaping up. The Tennessee Titans are at home this week against the Indianapolis Colts. And Tennessee, as the home team, is a 2.5-point favorite. Jeremy, I'll let you break the ice on this one.
Happily. Tennessee Titans. The Indianapolis Colts are another one of those teams that I don't envision Matt Ryan going 380 again. And I just don't know I don't know how you score. These are both simple one-read teams. And I'm just taking the home team. I think they've got this line perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Money's pretty balanced. There's not a lot of way to pick a side. The one thing that is telling to me is that the line keeps swelling, and I'm not having to go full field goal. If this was 3, I would say it's probably a push. I think the Titans win by field goal.
Okay. Will Jonathan Taylor be back?
Looks that way.
And I don't think I care. Do you care? Do you care that Jonathan Taylor's coming back?
I do not. You're looking. I mean,
what did Ryan throw the ball like 50 times last week and never got sacked? Prior to that, he was, I think, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. So I don't see that happening again. I don't think they've figured out the offensive line. I don't think they've, schemed differently. I think that's an aberration. He's not mobile. I think Tennessee, who's been playing better, gets after him, and we see a different outcome, so I'll take the Titans.
Yeah. Shaq Leonard, not going to play again for the Indianapolis Colts.
And that's one of the determining factors for me because I don't know how you're supposed to stop Derrick Henry without.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was headed with that. This is a different defense when he's not on the field. Still have no Kwity Paye, so you've got important guys missing on the defensive side. A Tennessee team that's going to be at home. They play tough at home, and I see them winning this game outright. I got Tennessee minus the 2.5 as well, and I think it'll be by more than a field goal. I just can't trust Indianapolis. Cincinnati Bengals. They're at home this week, and they take on the Atlanta Falcons, the team that Jeremy, you said it earlier in the week, dog walked the San Francisco 49ers.
Atlanta's such a weird team.
Mm-hmm.
A new element that we're adding to this segment this week in the chat on YouTube. The House of Reprehensibles can vote in the poll on their pick, and they will compete against us.
Nice.
It's a Stephen Tao idea. I thought it was brilliant.
That is a brilliant idea.
I don't know why we hadn't done that before.
I still think we should just get a mouse and cheese.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, too. Or the coin. We'll just flip a coin, and I have a feeling the coin will win most years.
The mouse and cheese.
You just put each logo on each side, put cheese on each side, see which one the mouse goes to.
Yeah, that's too much trouble.
That's a lot of work.
Where are we going to find the mouse?
No
Chief
answer.
knows where we can find mice. Okay, all right. Yeah,
no answer that I could give there would not have been deemed.
I was going to think something a little more Asheville, but I'm not. I'm going to stay away from that. I get me a little bit of trouble.
All right, Cincinnati at home against the Atlanta Falcons. It does continue to. I was going to say bother me, but it doesn't bother me. It's just baffling to me that Atlanta has been competitive in every game that they've played.
6-0 against the spread.
Yeah.
Undefeated against the spread. Yep,
yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
At some point that's going to stop. And I just don't like your chances. At some point I feel like the Cincinnati Bengals are going to have that offensive explosion. And it very well could be this week. I got Cincinnati minus the 6.5.
I hate this game. Because, see, you talk about my superstition and how that steers it doesn't really. But my experience of looking at that 6-0 going, that one is coming.
Mm-hmm.
If it was in Atlanta, I would be taking Atlanta against the number. It's not. Weather's not a factor. It's going to be a reasonably pretty day in Cincinnati. I'm going Cincinnati, but I'm not confident in it at all.
I mean, is Atlanta going to be able to put pressure?
Did we think they would do it on San Francisco?
No.
Do we think they would do it any of the other times they've done it this year?
No.
That team doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The NFL's drunk.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. If we could catch him driving a car, that's crimes, and we got the right guy to get to take care of that. Asheville Police Chief David Zack, are you on the Cincinnati Bengals or the Atlanta Falcons?
I'm with you guys on the Bengals. Yeah, I don't. They're undefeated against the spread, but I don't think they're that good. And they've been keeping games close, if not winning outright. But I think it ends.
They play hard. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how talent's not going to win out eventually.
And Cincinnati has talent in spades over the Atlanta Falcons. The Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. We're going to pick that game. Coming up next, we're playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Check her out at clarissasellswbnc.com.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 26 westbound slowing between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, again 26 westbound Very busy between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound delays between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound delays between Porters Cove Road and Patton Cove Road. 40 westbound again slow between Hendersonville Road and George's Branch Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Clayton Road, traffic stop and go. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound near Fletcher, slow approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound near Mills Gap Road, delays. Merriman Avenue north and southbound near Edgewood Road, heavy delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
I won. Yep, in the lead for Beat the Chief, breaking Jeremy's promise to go wire to wire in the lead of the Beat the Chief contest here on ESPN Asheville. One game. I got a one-game lead on the Chief and Jeremy, both tied for second place. You didn't like my phrasing of that last time.
Yeah, you said we were in last. Well, there's only 3 of us, and we're tied for second, a game behind you.
What are our overall records looking like? Are we getting any closer to 500?
We are. I am 2 games below 500 at 41, 43, and 2. And you guys are obviously 1 game behind at 40, 44, and 2.
That's a little more respectable.
On the yeah, it's much more respectable. string together a couple of 7-5, 9-5 weeks like this, and I may run away with this thing.
We could beat the coin.
Right, exactly. We could beat.
I just want to beat the coin.
Yeah,
horses,
exactly.
not zebras. That's all I'm going to say.
The coin would probably, 50-50, right? I want to beat the coin.
Play and beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack here in the Sportsocracy, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of EXP Realty. You need to buy a home. You need to sell a home. Clarissa is the one to get in touch with. ClarissaSellsWNC.com is the website. The Baltimore Ravens, they're at home against the Cleveland Browns this week, and the Ravens are a 6.5-point favorite. Baltimore, we talked about yesterday the teams that have been disappointing, and somebody threw out in the comments, are you not disappointed in the Baltimore Ravens? Yes, we are disappointed in the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, we didn't think that they were going to start the year out 3-3, but here's the thing. When you have Lamar Jackson, I mean, you have an elite playmaker in this league. Does he need more weapons? Sure. Will they address that at some point? I kind of feel like they will. But I don't know that you're going to need a whole lot of weapons to beat the Cleveland Browns,
who just got smoked like a honey ham by the New England Patriots and Bailey Zapp, who doesn't even know how to pronounce his own name.
Yep. It was tough that the Ravens went on, what was it, a 6-game losing streak at home dating back to last year? I believe that's what it was before they broke that, and now it's time to start the winning streak at home. I think the Ravens will win this game. I think they'll win it easily. I think it should be way more than 6.5 points, but I'll happily take them covering the 6.5.
I'm going to defer to Asheville.
You're deferring to me?
All right.
Tank, I'm with you. Browns, are 32nd in defense? Worst defense in the league. And even when you look at the games,
I think Detroit's in 36.
Is it Detroit? I thought it was Cleveland, but anyway. And you look at where the Dolphins and the Bills came back to beat the Ravens. Those offenses got a lot more talent, and the ability to score points in bunches, which I don't think Cleveland has. So, but Lamar Jackson needs to play better as well. And I think he will this week.
So you're both on Baltimore?
Yes, we are.
Not so fast, my friend. Jacoby Brissett struggles with one very specific thing. What is that? When he's under pressure, what do the Baltimore Ravens not do easily?
Get pressure on the
quarterbacks. Baltimore wins. Cleveland covers.
Okay. Cleveland will keep this close.
They were embarrassed last week. This is prime real estate for we get to the witching hour on Sunday and you go, how in the world are the Ravens and the Browns tied in Baltimore? Ravens win, Browns cover.
Okay. All right. There you have it. Jeremy going out on the limb for this one for the Cleveland Browns. That is his first disagreement with the group.
And I think having JPP it will help with the pressure.
Absolutely.
And look, I'm not telling you that this game's ever necessary. This could be another one of those where there's a backdoor cover late. This is just one where I've watched the betting trends going, somebody knows something that I don't know. And then the more I dug into it, I see at least 2 ways that the Browns can cover this. 6.5 is a lot of points to be given up.
It is, but I like the fact that you're at home. Let's run down your list, Jeremy. Who's at home? Who's got the better quarterback? Who's got the better coach?
This is also almost a touchdown in a game with 2 teams that run a lot.
Yes.
A lot of points.
J.K. Dobbins will not be playing.
4 to 6 weeks. It is officially Kenyon Drake season. That's another reason that I'm looking at Baltimore going, 6.5 is a lot.
When does Gus come back? When's the Gus bus gonna
He's not off
make
IR
his
yet,
return?
so I think he's been designated for return, possibly.
And they have 2 weeks, so they got to do it by the end of this week, I would imagine.
Yeah, probably. He'd probably be back for next week.
Yeah. But not going to be in for this game either. So yeah, it is Kenyon Drake time. But I like Lamar. I like Mark Andrews. I think Baltimore gets the win here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go down to Bank of America Stadium to take on the Carolina Panthers.
I'm here humbly asking, as someone that doesn't ask for much. I'm a simple man.
He's been praying all week, Chief, that we have to go down there, and I have to drive my car down there and watch Tom Brady lose to the Carolina Panthers. He's so mean.
I love New York Jet victories, pretty girls, and Tank Spencer sadness, and domestic lights. Just give me one.
Last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were, 10-point favorites? They were 10-point favorites against one of the worst teams in the league, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they go up to Pittsburgh, lay an egg. Not only did they not cover, they lost the game outright. And it's not going to happen this week. Tom Brady is at a whole new level of irritated, determined, however you want to put it. I don't see much of a path for them not to go in there and just frog stomp the Carolina Panthers just to make a point.
I'm on a level. I use a tool that gives you parameters for what a line should be.
Okay. When
I checked this game this week, which was this morning after the Christian McCaffrey trade, I had to check to make sure it wasn't broken. The projected line in this game was 22.5.
Yeesh.
And I went, well, I've never seen that before. That's new. So I'm going Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, Tampa to cover the 13 points. It is a huge spread.
It's so many points.
It just makes me so nervous.
It's so many points.
It just makes me so nervous. Chief, do you think the Carolina Panthers could surprise the Bucs?
Tampa Bay has only scored over 21 points once, and they're giving up 13. That being said, I'll go with the Bucs.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just can't do it. They've cashed it in, and I don't even know if I see them scoring 7.
This has all of the tenets. Fan base is upset because you just traded away the best player. The fired coach bump was last week. You got a team coming in that's exponentially better than you, that's rather perturbed coming off a bad loss. This checks every box for we are sitting in traffic with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter going, how long do you think it's going to take to get out of
here? When you leave that early, it doesn't take long to get out of there. Tampa Bay minus the 13 across the board against the Carolina Panthers this week. Look, Panther fans, you may be mad about that, but look, this is what you want to do. You want to lose. Just lose, baby.
Just lose, baby. That's all you got to do. You want to be bad. If you're going to be bad, be real, real bad.
Beat the Chief continues next right here on ESPN Asheville with Asheville Police Chief Zack. Brought to you by Clarissa Sells, WNC.com. Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid-70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid-part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Travis Flew, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Very busy. 26 westbound crawling between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound then crawling between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound pockets of very slow traffic volume between Patton Cove Road and the Smoky Park Highway. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, very busy. Sweeten Creek Road northbound and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound very slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound stop and go in Fletcher. Approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Merriman Avenue north and southbound at Edgewood Road. Delays. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double-stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's a rivalry renewed. Owen is hosting Avery. This matchup has produced some exciting moments in the past. We'll look forward to another great matchup on Friday. Sports Tank Friday gets us going at 6:30. Bojangles' Countdown to Kickoff show is at 7. On AM 1400, undefeated Tuscola, fresh off the win against Pisgah, hosts Smoky Mountain. The pregame show starts at 7, the kick at 7:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Best prices on new tires, quality auto repair, oil changes, NC inspections, auto diagnostics. All your needs to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape. Family-owned business serving Haywood County and the Jonathan Creek community for over 50 years. Convenience store, restaurant, full-line hardware. A one-stop shop serving all your needs. If we can't help you, we know who can. Stop by Searles Marathon at 3796 Jonathan Creek Road or call Michael Searles at 828-926-0385 for information.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack.
You should treat this much like video poker. Yeah, you might have gotten a royal flush, 4 of a kind, but there's a whole lot of 2s and 4s coming your way.
Please don't bring that up. Please don't bring up video poker, roulette, or the big 6-wheel, Wheel of Fortune. Don't bring up any of that stuff.
Wheel of Fortune. That's one of those shows that I gotta love the older crowd that watches that. And then there's us that have spent time in gambling halls and casinos and go, that means something completely different.
Damn, I love that game. I love that slot machine.
Yeah. That means something completely different than Pat Sajak if you're a degenerate like me.
Fresh off his latest trip to Vegas, Asheville Police Chief David Zack joining us here as we play Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. The Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders will lock it up in a 1 o'clock game in Washington. Green Bay is a 4.5-point favorite.
I want to do it so bad.
Don't do
I want to do it so bad. She just did everything in my soul is screaming to me to take Washington, which is why I'm taking the Green Bay Packers.
Thank you. Green Bay minus 4.5. Didn't even think about it for nary a second. I hate Washington. Ron Rivera has just poisoned the well for me so much. I mean, not only the fact that he was just a lackluster coach, I felt like, during his entire tenure with the Carolina Panthers, but this Antonio Gibson thing has just sent me over the edge with him. Like, I'm done with you. I want you to do something about your face.
Chief Zack, one of the things that Tank actually represents Antonio Gibson. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that he would talk about an irrelevant NFL football player as much as he talks about Antonio Gibson.
I get Green Bay's got problems, but Washington is terrible.
That's like what you just said. That's like saying Britney Spears has problems. Yeah, no kidding. Check out her Instagram. They scream at you fast.
But in a street fight, who you taking? You taking Britney Spears or you taking Charlotte Church? Like, come on.
I'm going to ask a very simple question that I never thought I'd ask on this show. Who the hell's Charlotte Church?
She's some like Christian singer. I was just trying to think of like.
Yeah, wasn't she some kid singer or something? She was like had like this amazing voice when she was a kid, and then
maybe that's
very wholesome, and then turned into Britney.
Yeah,
it's very sad.
Contemporary
actually.
Christian singer.
It's a very sad story. I
No
think.
less than 70 acts that he could have used right there that would have made more sense, and he went.
I know.
Charlotte Church.
Yeah, I was trying to think of somebody with a squeaky clean image. You know. I just don't get. Jeremy told me that like 80% of the money is on
Almost
Washington in this
80%.
game, and I don't even I don't kind of understand it.
Oh, I do.
Like even with the
fractured
struggles.
team on the road, new quarterback comes in, game plan will be dumbed down. They're going to run the ball a lot, and the Jets just eviscerated this Packer team running the ball.
Fractured team.
You tell me where was I lying there?
How are they fractured?
You have a quarterback that's constantly complaining about his receivers. What I mean, do you think this is the Wonder Years? Like you think they're sitting around holding hands singing Kumbaya? I don't think Captain Hiawaska is loving everything that's happening right now, and I'd say he's probably pretty vocal about it. The more he talks, the more I want to take Washington. Chief, I need you to pick this game quick. If you don't, I'm going to do something that I shouldn't.
I'm on the Packers. We'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. New York Jets.
Jets, Jets.
Are on the road this week at the Denver Broncos to open up the 4 o'clock slate on Sunday. This game is a pick'em. After the Jets just went to Lambeau Field and beat that Packers team senseless, now they're going to Denver against a team that may not have Russell Wilson, can't score points even with Russell Wilson. Help me understand it.
Jets gone jet.
Jets 4-2. Like at some point, when do you buy in? Because
it's not that you haven't bought in. You're just looking at it going, all right, this is a team that does not throw the ball easily. You got a receiver that's malcontent that's not going to be playing in this game.
Who wasn't used anyway, so
he was 100% used. He was the third. He had the third highest snap count of a receiver in the NFL. I've heard that narrative of he wasn't used anyway. He was used constantly. He didn't have the targets because he's been getting number one coverage because Garrett Wilson's been playing out of the slot because Elijah Moore refuses to. But that's a story for another day. You know, you're going to tell me I'm crazy. And if Brett Rippon starts this game, this is going to look really ugly, but I think Russell plays, and I'm taking the Denver Broncos.
All right, Chief. Are you with him? Are Jets gone jet? Or do you look at it the same way I look at this game and go, Denver doesn't stand a chance?
I think the Jets are going to jet all over the Broncos is what I think is going to happen.
Right, exactly.
And frankly, I hope you're right. And I'm ready to dance again. But I have been hurt, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid. This is one of those times when you see a line, and we do this every single week, you see a line that makes absolutely no sense. What is the first thing you think? What am I missing? I'm missing something here. What is it? And it's Zach Wilson on the road. Yeah, within the sludge fest that was that Packers game. This is not going to be a sludge fest. The over-under is really low. Really low. It's 38. It's so low, and I feel like Vegas is screaming at me, don't fall for this. This is a trap week. It's not that I don't believe in the Jets. This is just a trap.
Denver's got huge problems.
I don't disagree with you.
The Jets are riding high. The fact that it's a pick 'em is crazy to me. I'm on the Jets.
What do I tell you every single week?
This will be the third week in a row. Third week in a row, Jeremy said, "Oh, we're going to lose this game. This is what we do."
Well, the first 3 wins were against backup quarterbacks. When the public goes one way, what does Jeremy do?
Goes the other way.
I go the other way.
Las Vegas Raiders, they're at home against the Houston Texans. Raiders are a 7.5-point favorite. And
I don't think this one requires much
doesn't.
discussion.
No, it doesn't. Again, Vegas, they've had their problems, but this is the Houston Texans. This is a get-right week.
I would agree. I'm on Las Vegas minus 7.5.
Yep.
Raiders.
Yep.
Hey, across the board, let's go.
Now, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think we're going to be across the board on this one.
Are going on the road to the San Francisco 49ers, who just, they're feeling good about themselves. They just pulled off the deal with the Carolina Panthers to get Christian McCaffrey. You needed some kind of a morale boost after the failure that was your trip to Atlanta last week. Kansas City's a 2-point favorite on the road, and I'm not buying it. I'm going for San Francisco plus the 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I know offensively they cannot match Kansas City point for point on offense, but San Francisco doesn't have to because they have that defense. And that defense is, they're good for a couple of points.
Aren't they a little banged up, though?
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah, maybe a little.
I think that's the difference. Kansas City can just score.
Mm-hmm.
And I just see them covering the 2. Easy. I'll take the Chiefs.
Easy. Okay.
Easy. Yeah. I think 49ers are just too banged up on D.
I'm with him. I feel like I feel like Vegas has pulled the number back on Kansas City because they're 2-4 against the spread, and this sets up as a trap and all the different. I don't care. At the end of the day, I get Pat Mahomes going up against Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
Say that out loud and tell yourself that repeatedly, and you will very quickly go Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs minus the 2 for Jeremy and the Chief, and I will be out there on my lonesome with San Francisco plus the 2 at home.
All by himself.
Seattle Seahawks. They go to L.A. to take on the Chargers. The Chargers are a 5-point favorite. Chief.
I did not like the way that the Chargers look. I mean, they've had a short week. I'm going with the Seahawks. I'm taking the points.
Okay, Seahawks plus the 5.
Geno Smith.
On the road. Okay.
I'm a believer.
He's a believer in Geno Smith.
Well, I will happily chime in here and say I watched Geno haunt my nightmares for quite some time, which makes it easy for me to say, go Chargers, go!
I'm on the Chargers as well to cover the 5 points. At home against the Seattle Seahawks, at some point, this bubble is going to burst. At some point, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's the Geno Smith we all know.
Geno Smith. The guy that got his jaw broke by a player in his own locker room.
I think it's Allen, Mahomes, Geno. I think
I would understand you saying that about one of the quarterbacks in this matchup. That was not the right one, though.
Another pro tip, 7 days in Vegas is way too many.
I agreed. I've never even been, and I can tell you it's too many. I have friends that do this once a month that go, if I make it to day 3 and I'm still wearing my own shoes, I'm happy, and I will get out of here as quick as I can.
The one side of this game I really do like, betting-wise, is the over-under. The over-under's at 50, and I don't think that's close.
This is my favorite shootout game of the week.
Right. This is going to be a shootout. Both of these teams are going to be able to score because there's something about that Chargers defense that it was so good on paper.
Yeah, J.C. Jackson. He doesn't charge her so good. Apparently he paid her pretty well, but he doesn't charge her very well.
I mean, you look at the statistics, and this is basically the same defense from last year. However, you added J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack. How's that work? How you give up the same amount of points, despite the fact that you added 2 All-Pros?
Chargers win, Hawks cover.
He could be right.
He could be.
I think the Chargers are going to come in and just smoke Seattle.
Mm-hmm. As
But a
do
lot
I.
of points.
As do I. We got the primetime games left to pick, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, and we'll get to those up next right here on ESPN Asheville. We're playing Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 240 westbound between Tunnel Road and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Cap and Jeff Bowen Bridge. Very busy. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound then crawling between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound very busy between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound very busy in pockets between Patton Cove Road and George's Branch Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound in Fletcher approaching Fanning Bridge Road very busy. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway delays. Merriman Avenue north and southbound near Edgewood Road delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double-stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii. At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. MVP's Pro Rewards members visit Lowe's now and earn bonus points on products and brands like DeWalt. Then redeem for Lowe's e-gift cards and more. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees. After applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy Paint Applicators, and GRK Screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's e-gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety. From your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Coffee's the closers on. Get them the money! Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
If there's anything in this life I like more than domestic lights, it's an underdog. But there's a specific kind of underdog that I really love.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
It's
road dog, baby, and I got 6 of them. First, UAB is a 1.5-point dog at Western Kentucky. I'm going to be real honest with you. Either one of these teams could win this conference. But there's only one of them that can play dead in the Western on defense, and that's UAB. Give me the Blazers. UNLV is a 26.5-point dog at Notre Dame. Notre Dame may not be able to score 27 points. This might be the first time I've ever covered with a dog that doesn't score. Give me UNLV plus 26.5. Pittsburgh's a 2.5-point dog at Louisville. And the only way I can explain this is whoever set this line, they came to work drunk on Tuesday because they hit that number and went, look what I did. It's like the serving size on a packet of Oreos. 2 cookies. Look what I did there. Panthers plus 2.5. Arizona State's a 2.5-point dog at Stanford. Overreaction. Last week was more about how bad Notre Dame was, not how good Stanford was. Arizona State, been a little bump since they fired Herman Edwards. Oklahoma State is a 6.5-point dog at Texas. I know they're killed. They're hurt. Quinn Ewers is back. Mulleted man. I see it all. Texas wins. Oklahoma State covers. And finally, the Iowa Hawkeyes are a 30-point dog to Ohio State. That's a lot of points for a team with a defense this good. I'm well aware that the only way they're going to score is if Ohio State throws one behind them and they kick it through the back of the end zone. But I don't care. Give me the Hawkeyes to cover the 30 in a 27-0 shutout.
I have never said this before, but taking a 30-point dog is that might be one of the dumbest picks I've ever seen you make. Like
it's a 30-point
could
dog.
Be 50-0.
It's a 30-point dog. You care to take a gander at how many times Iowa's given up 30 points all year? You want to hear the list again? But they played Michigan 2 weeks ago. It's 27-14. They found a way to score twice. Ohio State ain't that much better than Michigan.
All right.
I don't care if they play this game on the moon. Defense travels.
Take those wagers over to BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. We got 2 games left to pick here on Beat the Chief with Asheville Police Chief David Zack, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. It's the primetime games. Ugh. And they're gross. Like, stop it with the gross primetime games already.
Gross.
I mean, last night was fun. It was the best primetime game between 2 mediocre teams that I think we've had in a long time. And now we get the Miami Dolphins hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Yep.
I'm really glad that I'll be 17 domestic lights deep here. Just, you know what? It's more fun this way.
Over, by the way. Miami is a 7-point favorite at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's not near enough for me. Look, this is not a retribution pick for last week. Okay, maybe a little bit. But again, I look at a team that's getting Tua back, and I like to let them sling this around on that Pittsburgh secondary.
Oh, I'll jump in here. I didn't think about this for a second. Pittsburgh Steelers plus 7.
Really?
I didn't think about it for a second.
Why?
Because there's this misnomer that, Tua's coming back, and now Miami's just phenomenal. No, they're also killed. Their left tackle may not play. They have just a slew of injuries. I love the under 45.5. I am hammered on this. Game's going to be gross.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Pittsburgh's that bad. I really don't. I had it at 7.5, just throwing it out there, but 7 carries the same weight. So,
Chief?
Dolphins win, Steelers cover.
Hang on. Try it again.
I will try it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Dolphins win, Steelers cover.
Steelers cover, Dolphins win. All right, so.
And by the way, I'm right there with him on that. I do think Miami's is going to win this in a big old sludgy gross fest.
I really did not think I was going to be the only one on the Miami side.
Yeah, I'm not totally down with the whole Tua's back and the world's a better place. You know, I'm not buying that.
I mean, he's definitely better, right, than Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson.
I don't know how much better he actually is than Skylar Thompson. I really don't. For what that offense does, I really don't know how much better he actually is.
Okay. All right. Monday Night Football this week. Chicago Bears, once again, in primetime. Like, have we not learned our lesson? Can we not flex this game?
I am humbly here to ask you to stop putting the Chicago Bears in primetime.
Yeah, and the Denver Broncos while you're at it, NFL. Chicago is a 9-point dog on the road at the New England Patriots. I'll take the Patriots to cover, despite the fact that I don't think they're going to play the right quarterback.
Oh, until he learns to pronounce his name correctly. I thought about this way longer than I should have. But I'm going New England.
Chief?
New England's outscored their last two 67-15.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going up against the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm comfortable giving up 9.
Yeah, not even close. New England across the board. All right, that is the Beat the Chief, brought to you by Clarissa Hyatt Zack of eXp Realty. Go to ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Once again, thank you, Asheville Police Chief David Zack, as always, for joining us here in the studio.
It's always fun, guys.
Hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you next week back here in the Sportsocracy. SportsCenter's coming up next, and then Daily Draft Time.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples is your one-stop destination for shipping supplies and services, and right now get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item. Offer ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping.
This week at the Buckham County Game of the Week, it's a rivalry renewed. Owen is hosting Avery. This matchup has produced some exciting moments in the past. We look forward to another great matchup on Friday. Sports Tank Friday gets us going at 6:30. Bojangles' Countdown to Kickoff show is at 7. On AM 1400, undefeated Tuscola, fresh off the win against Pisgah, hosts Smoky Mountain. The pregame show starts at 7, the kick at 7:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Phillies and Padres, Game 3 of the NLCS tonight in Philadelphia with the series tied at 1. The Padres have won 3 of their first 5 road games in this postseason. San Diego manager Bob Melvin.
Anytime you run through a couple different series in the postseason, you go through some games that, win or lose, you go home. That in hostile environments, you gain a little, perspective and certainly confidence from that.
Our coverage of Game 3 tonight at 7 Eastern here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Guardians manager Terry Francona will be back for his 11th season with the team next year. He's had health issues the last 2 years and will have another operation next week. Nets guard Joe Harris will make his season debut tonight against the Raptors. He missed the opener with a sore left foot. The daughters of former NBA All-Star Jason Williams are denouncing St. John's for inducting Williams into the school's Hall of Fame this weekend. Williams served more than a year in jail for accidentally shooting and killing a chauffeur 20 years ago.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers are just in a funk right now, and they've got to try to figure out how to get it turned around.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. As always, the Sportsocracy is brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Clarissa Marshall of EXP Realty. We got some great sponsors of this program.
Absolutely.
As we come to you live from the Ingles Studio each and every day. And it's a Football Friday. And what we do on Football Fridays in our daily draft is talk about where are we going to go this weekend. Well, this weekend we're actually going somewhere to watch some football. On Sunday, Jeremy and I will be headed down to Bank of America Stadium with the boss man Brian Hall and the legendary high school football coach Kenny Ford to go see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. It's going to be a fun day, but we like to play Fantasyland here. Daily draft, where would you go if you could go anywhere and money is no object? Where are we going?
You have the first pick.
I have the first pick? Excellent. Because I'm going to go the same place that all of the shows should go to this week. It's not going to be on Jeremy's list, and it's going to be my number one pick because I think it's going to be a phenomenal game between Brian Kelly and his UCLA Bruins.
Oh, it's not Brian Kelly. It'd be Chip Kelly.
Or excuse me, Chip Kelly. Wrong Kelly there. Chip Kelly going back to Oregon to take on the Ducks, a top 10 matchup in the Pac-12. Look, I know we don't think that either of these, anybody from the Pac-12 outside of USC could have any chance to hang with anybody in the college football playoff at the end of the season, but
no, they can't. It was USC. That was your one hope,
right.
And that got dashed by Utah.
It did. But this is going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. The over-under is 70.5, and I'm not sure I don't like the over in that game. It's going to be a lot of points scored.
I agree with you. This is not a terrible choice. I mean, it's not. It was. I'm not gonna say it wasn't on my list. It just wasn't probably as high as.
Number
I certainly
one.
wasn't doing it one.
It certainly wasn't number one.
No, you left me my 1 and 2.
Good.
My 1 is Kansas City Chiefs at San Francisco 49ers. That's the NFL game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I get to see Christian McCaffrey and his new threats because apparently he is going to play. I would not look for his snap count to be overly high.
No.
But I guarantee you, mark my words, they're going to get down to the 2-yard line, and that's where you're going to see Mr. McCaffrey at home with the chance to, hey, this is why we gave up all the draft
They're going to
picks.
say, hey, Christian, why don't you go just run out to the flat right there, and Jimmy's going to dump it to you.
Yeah, but you're going to get in the end zone.
And we're going to do that at least 3 times.
Oh, no, I'm not going to say that, but I will say anytime touchdown scorer, there's not one in the NFL I like better this week than Christian McCaffrey.
San Francisco and Kansas City. Great choice.
And my second one is what I think will be the college game of the week. I'm going to Howard Rock. Let's go to Syracuse-Clemson. I do think that is going to be a better game than a lot of other people do.
I think people just doubt it because who watches Syracuse football, really?
I've watched more of it than I'm proud of.
Well, and good for you. I mean, maybe Syracuse is back, but they're not on the national scale.
No, but Clemson doesn't blow out good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson can kill a Louisiana Tech or a Furman. They do not blow out good teams. And Syracuse, whether you want to believe it or not, Syracuse is a good team. It doesn't look beautiful all the time. It's a little clunky, but Sean Tucker is a guy that this may be his coming out party nationally. I saw some holes in that Clemson team watching them play my Florida State Seminoles last week.
Okay.
They're good. They're better than I thought. But I think this will be a game.
I don't see much of a path for the Clemson Tigers not to run the table in the ACC and be in the college football playoff right back where they belong. After the one blip year from last year, I think something has finally clicked for DJ Uiagalelei. He's playing phenomenal right now. He's running the ball more. This Clemson team is for real. Now, can they hang with anybody once they get to the college football playoff? That will that will be to be determined, I guess we should say. All right, so Jeremy's going San Francisco, Kansas City, Clemson, and Syracuse. You know, outside of the game that we're actually going to in the NFL, I'm not sure I see any great primo matchups there. So I'm going to stick with the college football world. And I believe I'm going to have to take a little trip to Stillwater, Oklahoma. I want to see Oklahoma State and Texas.
Oklahoma State's killed. And that's one of the most hurt teams in college football. But I do believe in the culture there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my favorites. When the world is on one side, you go the other.
It's next man up. It's always how it's been with Oklahoma State teams. Mike Gundy is a hell of a motivator.
And phenomenal mullet.
Absolutely.
A top 5 mullets ever. It's like Billy Ray Cyrus, me, Mike Gundy, end of message, repeat the line.
I'm glad that you put yourself second.
No doubt. I mean, Billy Ray is the champion of this. Charlie Sheen back in the 80s, he's up there.
$1 Million Man.
Ted DiBiase. Oh, how did I forget him? You know what? He's 2. I'll bump me down to 3.
So gracious of you. So gracious of you. The Big 12 matchup. I know this is weird. I'm going Pac-12, Big 12 games of the week. But I will sneak in an SEC game because I want to go to Tuscaloosa. Because I want to see Mississippi State, Will Rogers. Let's see what
Will Rogers.
Let's see what the Alabama Crimson Tide can do coming off a loss to Tennessee. I'm going to say all bets are off. Alabama they're going to have some fire.
Do you know what the line on that game is?
No.
What do you think it is? It's a good Mississippi State team that scores pretty easily.
I would say it's got to be Alabama minus 14.5.
Add a touchdown to it. 21.
Holy smokes.
And I considered putting Alabama in the bangers.
There you go.
They are going to smoke Mississippi State.
Fill in the blank. Hell hath no fury like a
Nick Saban.
Scorned. Exactly.
The only thing I will say, the intrigue of that game, I saw something with Tennessee. Tennessee was running that stack, which is a Mike Leach staple. I know they're going to do it. If Alabama can't figure that out, teams will use it against them all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hendon Hooker spent the entire game setting the stack and then watching who the safety went with, and that's where the ball went. They do that, Mississippi State could cover it. That's the reason it's not the bangers. I have a feeling they have worked on that all week long, and it's going to lead to at least 2 Will Rogers interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you said you were going to an SEC game, I got nervous.
You were glad that I didn't take the other game.
Yeah, with the Freudian slip of Brian Kelly, because I'm going to Death Valley for Ole Miss LSU.
I considered it, but again, it is an Alabama redemption story I can't miss.
I look at Ole Miss as the team that they haven't been on that grander scale yet. They've been the SEC, the good SEC team that plays on ESPN instead of in that CBS window. So the public on the whole hasn't seen them yet to realize offensively, dogs, and the defense is better than people give them credit for. This is a team that's better than Tennessee defensively, and I think in the ballpark of them offensively. But Vegas thinks this is the trappiest trap of all traps.
Mm-hmm.
So my first selection is Ole Miss TCU, and the other one is, again, you said Big 10 or Big 12, excuse me, and I got scared because I'm going to the battle of purple between the Kansas State Wildcats and TCU.
Now, look, you know me. I'm a better friend than that. Do you think that I would take that game away from you as much money as you made on those teams in the past?
I do like wagering on teams that wear purple.
You do. Kansas State, TCU, is it going to be just a no-holds-barred shootout between these two?
I can't say it's going to be a shootout. There's probably more defense played here than you think. People have this misnomer that TCU can't play defense solely because they hung 4,000 points on Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma's terrible. That's not really who this team is. I think this will be a good game. It's one of the only night games.
Okay.
So weird, thin night slate. which is a good thing because I got to get my beauty rest to get in your car and head to Charlotte.
That's right. That's right. All right, so I have 2 picks left?
Correct.
This might seem a little off the beaten path, but I think I want to go to Happy Valley this weekend. Penn State takes on Minnesota. And I know that doesn't, like, in the modern world of football where everybody expects, high-flying offenses to take center stage.
I mean, if you were ever going to watch a defensive, hey, look how good these running backs are, a matchup between Nick Singleton and Mo Ibrahim is you could do drastically worse.
Exactly. And I'm a big fan of running backs. I'm a big fan of old-school football, and I think that's what we're going to see, a slugfest between Penn State and Minnesota.
Well, I'm an old-school boat rower, so I'm present and accounted for and rooting aggressively for Minnesota.
Right. And then for my final pick of where I'm going to go this week, if money was no object, I feel like I should throw in an NFL game here.
You don't have one of those yet, do you?
I don't have one of those yet. I've stayed all in the college ranks because I don't know that there's going to be too many great games outside of San Francisco and Kansas City. However, I do feel like I want to be there. In the lines of what I just said about Penn State and Minnesota, Cleveland-Baltimore does have the ability to be a back-and-forth close battle down to the end. You got the AFC North rivalry between the two. And there's going to be a whole lot of running the football in that game. So I think I'm going to go Ravens and Browns to close it out.
It's a formidable selection. I'm going to make one that sounds a little strange because neither of these teams are ranked. I don't think either of these teams are all that good. But I have been to this stadium when it's very loud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Columbia, Texas A&M, South Carolina.
Okay.
That team's 4-2. The fan base is buying in. And here's the thing. One of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to be right, which I believe we all know that I really like being, or that place is going to crumble in upon itself. Because if they find a way to beat Jimbo Fisher in Columbia, be a fun place for a little after party. Maybe a few domestic lights poured in establishments around that stadium.
Indeed. All right, so there's our slates for the week. Games to watch or places that we would just love to go for, the atmosphere and, of course, the football. I got UCLA, Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma State, Bama, Mississippi State, Penn State, and Minnesota, and the Ravens and the Browns. Jeremy's got the Chiefs and the 49ers, Clemson, Syracuse, Ole Miss, LSU, Kansas State, TCU, and Texas A&M against the South Carolina Gamecocks. There's one that I didn't think I'd be saying today.
4-2 South Carolina. That place is going to be wild. It may not be loud for long, but it'll be loud for a minute.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up after the break, we are going to be joined here in the studio by Keenan Nesbitt, the Community Outreach Deputy of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, as we play Sheriff You Want To. We'll see what he thinks about this week's college slate coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, 26 westbound slow between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow near Bavard Road. Again, 26 eastbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 westbound is slow between Patton Cove Road and Porter's Cove Road. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound again slow between the 26-240 split and Smoky Park Highway. Smoky Park Highway southbound delays between Pisgah Highway and Luther Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway is slow. Sweden Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between Arden and Long Shoals Road. Merriman Avenue north and southbound near Edgewood Road delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Ingles shoppers, new Omicron COVID-19 boosters are here. Ingles Pharmacy is now offering the new and improved boosters that target the Omicron variants to patients 12 years of age and up. Stop by the pharmacy to schedule yours today or make an appointment online at www.inglesmarkets.com.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is time to play Share if you want to. Joining us on the program, Keenan Nesbitt, who you got a new job.
I did.
Like it. You got a new assignment. He's now the SRO over at Inca Intermediate, the school resource officer. Keenan Nesbitt joining us here on Share if you want to. Just to give you an update on the standings.
Tank and I can't stop going 4-4.
No, we can't. Actually, I went 5-3 2 weeks ago. Jeremy went 5-3 last week, but when it all evens out, we're all dead even. So 24-24 on the season are me and Jeremy in this contest. And
as Chief Zack says, this is the coin. We have basically been the coin. If you flipped a coin, you can be about the same boat we've been in.
Absolutely. And Keenan, you're 8 games under 500, but we can turn this around.
Yeah, we might turn it around this week, I hope.
There we go. One good week. That's one perfect week, and you're right back in the game. Right back in the game. So, this week, college football. Let's see.
This is not a great slate.
Well, I mean,
you got some high point games.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great week to either domestic lights, which makes everything better, or tell your spouse, hey, maybe we go to dinner this week. Been watching too much football. Really show you how much you mean.
Kickoff tomorrow at noon on ABC. Live from Memorial Stadium, we will have number 5 Clemson, number 14 Syracuse, both teams undefeated in the ACC. Who will come out on top? Who will take the reins, I guess, of the Atlantic Division?
I go first.
All right.
It's going to be Clemson.
I really want to take the Fighting Brian Hayneses.
The Syracuse Orange.
I feel like Clemson's going to get got. I don't know why. There's just something about them when they play teams that are competitive. They let everybody hang around, even Florida State last week. I understand that the game was never really in doubt. It wound up 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State kicked an onside that if they recovered, I'm telling you right now, you'd have lost. It was never close. That game was never in doubt, and yet they still had a chance to win at the end.
Clemson may get got.
They're going, in my opinion, they're going to get got at some point.
I just don't feel like they're going to get got at home. If I had my hopes up for NC State, I felt like if any team in the ACC could have done it would have been NC State. They came in, it was a dogfight, and I was like, man, it's going. I think it may go down that way. But when I seen them handle that adversity there against NC State, and I was like, man, they still got it at home, man. If you're going to beat them, you got to beat them on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to go to the Valley and beat them.
Mm-hmm. And they have one road game left on the season, and that comes up in their game after this one against Notre Dame. Don't like the chances of them getting got in
preliminary line there is Clemson minus 1,000.
I told you yesterday, if Clemson's going to, quote-unquote, get got, then it's going to happen in the ACC championship game to the North Carolina Tar Heels. You should know this by now.
Hashtag no homer.
Yeah, hashtag no homer. I am on Clemson to win this game as well. So full sweep on the Clemson Tigers to stay undefeated and basically sew up the ACC Atlantic Championship all in one fell swoop. Take down Syracuse, and then you got to get got twice to not be the representative in the ACC championship game from the Atlantic Division. I just don't see it in the cards for the Clemson Tigers. Then, let my computer catch up here. Then in college football action, let's see here. We have...
I'm going operator error.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always operator error with me. A 3:30 kickoff in the SEC down at Tiger Stadium, the other Death Valley. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the LSU Tigers taking on undefeated Ole Miss, the number 7 team in the country.
I'll start here. It's always a bad sign when Friday you're still talking about calls from the week before. Brian Kelly seems to be making original excuses for himself. That's a bad sign. If LSU had to do this over again, he would not be the coach of this program. Spent a lot of money, and you're stuck. And I have a funny feeling, I don't care what the line is. There are a lot of times that I look at betting trends and go, okay, you know something I don't know. I know this program quite nicely, and I have been told it is Ed Orgeron level fractured. Ole Miss is going to abuse them. I could see this being 55-10.
Yikes!
Ole Miss doesn't get a lot of, hey, we're the CBS game weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take advantage of that, and Lane Kiffin knows that better than anybody, and he will love playing the nobody respects us card. And Jackson Dart will throw for 4 bills. Ole Miss by $1 billion.
All right, Kanan, what do you think?
Man, I told you I did a pick off earlier at the school. I had Ole Miss. I had them going down into Death Valley and just letting it go.
Just letting it go.
Letting it go.
Just letting it go. That offense is terrifying, and it's the one thing that I don't think gets enough attention is the Ole Miss defense. Ole Miss can play on both sides. Jeremy and I have been talking about this all weekend, or all week since the Alabama loss at Tennessee. They got Ole Miss coming up soon. And that is a more well-rounded team than the Tennessee Volunteers, who just knocked off Alabama. And when you're talking about, Ole Miss possibly being a college football playoff contender,
and they are,
they cannot go to Baton Rouge and drop one to the Fighting Brian Kelly's and his god-awful accent.
My family.
So everybody across the board on Ole Miss to win this one. And you got one of those showdowns in the Big 12 as you got the Texas Longhorns in action against Oklahoma State. Texas comes in ranked number 20. Oklahoma State coming off a loss, ranked 11th in the country.
If Oklahoma State was full strength, I'd be taking the Cowboys. I think they'll keep it close because it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
I've already said I have Oklahoma State against the number. But you got a mulleted quarterback. I'm taking Texas. I don't know that they can score with them, but I do think they stay within the number. Texas wins.
Okay. I'm gonna be on the opposite side of you there. Oklahoma State at home. I get you like Texas. You like the weapons that they have, obviously, with Bijan Robinson and Xavier Worthy. Those are great guys. Quinn Ewers at quarterback. And Oklahoma State is just that. I feel like they're that nondescript team that is just hard-nosed.
They're an irk. They're very irksome.
Irksome. Yeah, they're tough to deal with. And it's hard to win in Stillwater. Not sure that Texas is ready to pull this upset. Keenan, what say you? Oh, he's got the hook 'em horns out. He's ready to go.
I'm going with Texas. This is always a good game between Texas and Oklahoma State. You never know. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a hard game. It's gonna be a fought-out game to the fourth quarter, but I feel like Texas can pull it off.
Okay.
I also have one other word that I haven't said yet.
Mm-hmm.
Over.
Over. It's 60 and a half?
Yeah, that might be at halftime. With what Oklahoma State's missing defensively and how aggressive Texas is, that could be the score at halftime.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the SEC, down to Tuscaloosa. Alabama coming off the loss. Mississippi State's been unheralded all year long. Will Rogers slinging the ball around in that Mike Leach system, so we know they can score points. The question is Alabama rattled?
If you're an Alabama fan, you will walk out of this game knowing where you are. Either we went into a buzzsaw, which was the loudest stadium on the planet Earth, and we just got beat, or Mississippi State's going to keep this close, and you have categoric, massive problems. I'm going to say it was the former, not the latter. Alabama by 35. I could see this being 52-17, where it's never close. They never leave anything in doubt.
The scheming of Nick Saban versus Mike Leach.
Nick Saban also has this propensity to when something beats him, he knows that it's going to be used against him, and he usually has a cute little wrinkle for it. And Mike Leach's system is unnecessarily difficult. It's what I've always been told about that.
Yes.
Might get too cute and get blown out.
I will be on Alabama as well. Big over Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm going Alabama too. I don't think have they ever lost 2 games back to back?
It's been a long time.
I think you got to go back to the Mike Shula days for that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's necessarily that far back, but
I just don't see Nick Saban losing 2 games back to back. So that's just my gut feeling of why I'm like I have to go to Alabama on this one. I don't see him losing 2 games back to back. So Alabama.
Big Ten showdown, number 16 Penn State hosts Minnesota. We'll pick that game coming up next. right here on ESPN Asheville. We're playing Share If You Want To with the new school resource officer over at Inca Intermediate, Keenan Nesbitt of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slow between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound again slow between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow between Bavard Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between Patton Cove Road and Porters Cove Road. 40 westbound slow between Hendersonville Road and Bavard Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound near Newfound Road, very slow. Pisgah, Smoky Park Highway southbound, stop and go between Pisgah Highway and Luther Road due to an accident. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound slow between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
It's midterm season. MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis to give you a greater understanding of the races, the results, and what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms on MSNBC.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on now to ESPNAVL.com to make your picks. Each weekly winner gets a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and will be a finalist for our grand prize. Log on now, ESPNAVL.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Share If You Want To continues here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville with Keenan Nesbitt of the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office.
Ain't your parents, boys, you're dealing with the county sheriff. So I said,
picking out right winners in college football from the best games of the week, and I still feel like one of those is going to be up in Happy Valley in Pennsylvania as number 16 Penn State plays host to Minnesota. It is going to be a gritty grind fest between these two teams, Muhammad Ibrahim and Nick Singleton.
I knew you were going to make me pick this game, Sully, because you knew you'd get a win in it. Because I can't go against P.J. Fleck. You know I'm an original boat rower.
You are.
I've been on board with this since before it was cool to be on board with this. I'm taking Minnesota.
All right, Minnesota pull the upset against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Keenan, what's your lean?
I ain't paid too much attention to Minnesota all year.
They run a lot, and their quarterback virtually never turns the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
But
and they need a win desperately.
I'm going Penn State, man.
All right, Penn State, you're on the right side of that.
That's
one.
without a doubt the right side. I'm not unbiased when it comes to Minnesota because that's who I wanted Florida State to hire when we hired Mike Norvell.
Yep. I got the Nittany Lions winning that game at home, but as I said, it's going to come down to final possession probably and who can just bully who. And I like the Nittany Lions to come out on top.
I also love that that's the ABC game. I can see that being one that you just can't go to sleep because it stays close for so long.
Mm-hmm. Kansas State, TCU.
I've already made a pick on this one.
The Battle of the Purples, Fort Worth, Texas. Keenan, why don't you give us your pick?
TCU.
And
I did so earlier, right, when I was doing this pick. This is how I made my call. I went back and checked each team's schedule and saw who all they played. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let me see who played the most quote unquote battle tested game. So far it's been TCU.
TCU has the thing that has impressed me about them is they've been able to win multiple ways. Look, Kansas State's good, and I've made a bunch of money on the Wild Kitty Cats. You ain't winning this one.
Mm-mm.
I'm dumbfounded how low the number is. At 3.5, I'm dumbfounded how low that. I had this at 10. I saw that and I went, "Ooh, free money."
Well, I mean, it's because Kansas State is a scrappy team, and I still feel like there's not an overwhelming opinion on TCU right now. I mean, obviously they're undefeated.
Well, I don't know what else you can do.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Is like people are looking at this and going, I don't really know. I mean, you beat Oklahoma, but everybody beats Oklahoma. You beat Kansas, okay, but Kansas just lost as well. And then Oklahoma State, obviously that was the one. And I don't think everybody's had time to catch up and go, oh, well. Yeah,
well, I mean, Vegas has. I don't care about the public.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing. How in the world did Vegas let this number be so low? That's
the
dumbfounding to me.
To get the action.
Yeah, the problem is that you're getting the action on the wrong side.
I'm on the Horned Frogs to win this one. So everybody on TCU.
Correct.
Against Kansas State. Texas A&M goes to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. Is there any chance that somebody in this room is going to take the Gamecocks to pull the upset?
I'm not.
No.
Man.
No. I don't even think that's a game.
Oh, it'll be a game because it's going to be very loud.
I think
you got to understand, South Carolina is one of those places you don't have to give them much for them to buy in, and they have bought in that Shane Beamer is going to lead us to the promised land. Here's the problem. Spencer Rattler is still your quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And he may.
And he loves throwing it to the wrong team.
Beamer may lead them to the Gamecock promised land. But that's not.
It's not going to be this year.
But that's not an SEC championship. That's not even a division championship.
That's a bowl game.
Like,
hey,
we want to go to a bowl.
I get to dunk my head in Duke's mayonnaise again. Let's go.
Right. You get a little bit better than the Duke's Mayo Bowl. You've already won at South Carolina. All right, everybody on Texas A&M across the board. And then Oregon at home against UCLA, Pac-12 supremacy on the line.
I already said this is road dog weekend, so for me to take a home favorite, I had to be pretty confident. If you haven't seen the uniforms that Oregon's going to be donning this weekend, they are quite spiffy.
Pretty sweet.
They are the Stomp Out Cancer. It's got the wing on the helmet is pink.
Oh,
all the accents are pink. Oregon by 1,000.
By 1,000.
I don't buy UCLA. I don't. And if you look at this as you go down the line, every one of these games that UCLA has won, I can go back and go, yeah, but what happened after you played them?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so UCLA beat a Washington team that everybody thought was good. And then what? Now they're a 7-point favorite against Cal.
Coming up in the bangers in just a few here on ESPN Asheville. I got UCLA.
Ooh.
I'm taking UCLA. I hate Bo Nix. I just can't get with it on Bo Nix. You got the revenge narrative here for Chip Kelly going back to Oregon, and I get he left voluntarily.
I was about to say it's no revenge.
Right. It's not like he got scorned by.
That's like the spouse that cheated being angry at the one they cheated on. Like I don't think that's how that works.
You tell that to the soccer guy that's got to wear Shakira's logo on his jersey.
He deserves it.
He told the story yesterday, Keenan, that Shakira's Shakira's ex-husband plays for FC Barcelona. And Spotify is their sponsor, and they're putting Shakira's logo on their jerseys this week. And so he's got to wear Shakira's stuff.
He has to wear his ex-wife's logo.
I would quit.
Work.
I would be like, I got to go to a different team.
He said the same thing, and then I said they pay him $28 million a year.
Oh no! Matter of fact, put the picture big.
Okay.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just cover her face all over it.
Actually, give me a jersey with her face all over it. And is there a hat I can wear? Do I need to wear a goofy hat?
Yeah. If they get matter of fact, she can sit beside me on the bleacher.
Yeah, right here. I got saved her spot, and she can yell at me for all of the things I did.
For $25 million. It goes a long way. All right, I'm taking UCLA in the battle for Pac-12 supremacy up there at Oregon. I know my good friend Jesse Holland, big fan of the show, is not going to be happy that I'm going against his Oregon Ducks.
We have a lot of Duck fans.
We do.
I see Oregon in the chat a lot. It just slides through. I'm okay with that. They have cool uniforms.
All right, best of luck to all involved this weekend in college football. Keenan, always good to see you.
Always.
Play and share if you want to. Right back here on ESPN Asheville next Friday with the new SRO at Inca Intermediate School, Keenan Nesbitt from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. There was a time in my life where I thought that I will never get out of this rut. I will never be a healthy person. I was born into a family that's full of overweight people. We center everything we do around food. I've been overweight my entire life, and I'm never going to climb out of this. And then I hooked up with PhD Weight Loss, and Dr. Ashley Lucas and her gang showed me a way to change my life. And since football season of last year, I've dropped over 90 pounds. And I can't tell you how much better I feel just waking up in the morning. I don't have the aches and pains that I used to. I'm not out of breath tying my shoes. It's a completely different scenario for me now.
And PhD is not just for people that have an aggressive amount of weight to lose. I had never had aggressive weight problems. I had one very simple problem. When it came to food, I was incredibly lazy. Whatever was easiest, probably what I ate, which led to a lot of nights of fast food, and over time I got a little chunky. After 9 months, I'm back to my high school weight. I'm wearing clothes that I don't really understand why I kept, and it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
And when you have a weight problem, one of the things is it's more convenient to be overweight. It's more convenient. It's easier to just not do the work. There's not a whole lot of work that you got to do with PhD. Follow the program that they give to you, and you're going to shed the pounds. Go to myphdweightloss.com today. myphdweightloss.com. Coming up after the break.
Dogs.
All the dogs, all the bangers. Your way to make money this weekend in college football.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slows between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 westbound very busy between Brevard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound slow east of Brevard Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound delays between Patton Cove Road and Porters Cove Road. 40 westbound light delays between Hendersonville Road and Brevard Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound near Newfound Road, slow. Smoky Park Highway southbound crawling between Pisgah Highway and Luther Road due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling, audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
If money is what scares you this fall, then listen here for your $1,000 inflation bonus. Win $1,000 every hour, weekdays between 9 and 5. Happening now, right here.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The season we've all been waiting for is here. No, not that one. The season of the Big Orange Tent is underway in Western North Carolina. The area's largest selection of Halloween costumes, decorations, and accessories is at the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. Halloween Express is your one-stop shop for adult and child costumes, superheroes, horror icons, inflatable suits. You can find it all under the Big Orange Tent at the Asheville Mall. 10 to 8 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sundays.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety, from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's my favorite time of the week. I've marinated all week long. I found my 6th favorite of the week. The big dog's been eating aggressively. It's time for all of the underdog. Speed of lightning! Roar of thunder! UTEP's a 4-point dog against FAU. As long as Willie Taggart is the head coach of Florida Atlantic, I'm going to keep picking against them anytime I'm getting points. Give me UTEP plus the 4. Cal is a 7.5-point dog at home against Washington. I'm not telling you Cal's good. They're not. But in the modern era, current coaching staff, all the things in place, anytime they have not failed to cover a spread the week before, they covered the next week. Cal plus the 7.5. East Carolina, the fighting Mike Houstons, are a 5-point favorite against Central Florida. Central Florida has never covered against Mike Houston. Allow me to repeat that. No matter what the number is, no matter who's the favorite, none of it matters. They've never covered against East Carolina. Give me the fighting Mike Houstons plus the 5. Syracuse is a 14-point dog at Howard's Rock against Clemson. I ain't telling you they're going to win because they're not. This is a one-dimensional team. They Sean Tucker very well, but I think they can be hard enough to defend. Clemson, I've seen some holes in that team. I think they win, but this one's close. Give me Syracuse plus the 14. The big dog. One loss against the spread all the year. This week I got 2. First, Ole Miss, 1.5-point dog at LSU. I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know what Vegas believes, but Ole Miss gets one crack at the CBS game before they have to play Alabama. This is a national contender. Jackson Dart is very good. This offense is very good, and the defense has stepped up just enough. Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers can't score with them. Give me Ole Miss plus the 1.5. And finally, the Duke Blue Devils are a 10-point dog at Miami. Duke is forever underrated. Miami's not good. There's nothing on that team that's good. One of the last times we saw them at home, they lost to Middle Tennessee State. I got news for you. Duke is the better team. They're not more talented, but they're more committed. Give me the Blue Devils plus 10. They went outright.
And you can take those wagers over to BetUs.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into your account, up to $2,500.
Such a week of football.
Yeah, it's always always a great week of football.
Now it's a little anticlimactic because your 2 primetime games this week are.
Yeah, well, they're not great. You got the Miami-Pittsburgh game on Sunday night, and then New England and Chicago on Monday Night Football. Not going to be the greatest of primetime games, but you know what? It's going to be a fun Sunday. Regardless if you're sitting at home watching football or if you're sitting in a suite at Bank of America Stadium watching your Tampa Bay Buccaneers struggle with the Carolina Panthers. It's all going to be a great week. Don't forget, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is when we will have the Fantasy Game Time Decision Show live. It will be Armchair Commentaries, David Smith, and our very own Jeremy Greene on the YouTube channel live at 10 a.m. to get you all set for the Fantasy Football Day. We will replay that back on Sunday, and Jeremy will be in the chat as well for last-second football questions and lineup changes and all of that while we are in the car riding down to Bank of America Stadium.
That is my plan for the ride down. I don't ride well. I don't like when other people drive.
He especially doesn't like it when I drive.
Specifically, old zipper merge over here.
It's the most efficient way to do it.
You can keep saying that until the end of time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make it accurate.
It does. Science tells us so. The science is, as they say, settled on that.
The same science that told us eggs were good, and then they told us eggs were bad. Then they said only the whites were good, the yellows were bad. Make up your mind.
John Lynch of the San Francisco 49ers says they took the swing on Christian McCaffrey because we're in it to win it, baby. And you knew it. As soon as that came down, that San Francisco had swung the trade for Christian McCaffrey, this is a team that is all in to win a Super Bowl now. And it's going to be super interesting to see them win a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo and then
what
say,
do you do?
Bye, Jimmy.
And then what do you do? Look, I'm not going to lie. I don't think this makes them the best team in the NFC, but I think it cements them as the 2.
It makes them.
I had them as the 2 anyway.
Mm-hmm. It makes them closer to the Philadelphia Eagles, the undefeated team in the NFC. I think not only was this an all-in, let's go win a Super Bowl, it was we need to make this move because somebody's gonna. And we can't allow the Los Angeles Rams in our own division to end up with him. We can't allow the Buffalo Bills to add another weapon. We need to make the move.
And I never even considered that until you said it, and I don't give it a lot of credence now.
It's not a huge part of the reason, but it's part of it.
To me, it makes you know you have a limited quarterback. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo is a high-end game manager. Now this allows you to play matchups on every snap. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, now add Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we are now on a collision course in the NFL for a Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, AFC Championship game, and a Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, NFC Championship game. And until somebody shows me something, I'm probably not changing my mind on that.
I see no flaw in any of that. It's probably how it's going to shake out. But as we have seen week in and week out, the NFL is drunk. There's going to be surprises. There's going to be teams that just shock you week in and week out. And hopefully it doesn't break your bank this week. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, back on Monday with all the recap of the weekend's action. We got football coming up later on tonight here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
And high pressure in charge, giving us some gorgeous weather throughout the weekend, and temperatures climbing here into early next week starting Sunday. It's a cool night tonight, 34 degrees in the valley, close to freezing with elevation. Sunshine Saturday, high 69 with 37. And then Sunday and Monday, sunshine with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Next chance for rain showing up mid part of next week. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 26 westbound slow between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 westbound again very busy between Bavard Road and I-40, 26 eastbound slow near Bavard Road, and again 26 eastbound light delays between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound light delays between Patton Cove Road and Porters Cove Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. And 40 westbound near Newfound Road is slow. Smoky Park Highway southbound between the Pisgah Highway and Luther Road, very busy due to an accident. Accident reported in Canton on US 1923 southbound at Blackwell Drive. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road and continuing to the Blue Ridge Parkway, slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, find everything you love listening to on Audible. From memoirs and true crime to celebrities and sci-fi. Audible is the home of storytelling.